Previously on Tradin Faves.
Sans Undertale?
And so it continues.
Welcome back to Tradin Faves. We're on to Smash Bros. Ultimate, the game that this is actually based on.
Yeah, we did. Going into this, I don't think we realized. At least I didn't realize just how big of an undertaking this would be.
Well, here's the thing. Initially, I intended for this just to be me, and I was just gonna do it all in one video in one take. And then you were like, we have a podcast, we can do it together.
Content.
We can talk about Fire Emblem Fates for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I apologize. I kind of went off there.
I had things to say about it too, so it's okay.
But hey,
this is a show.
Yes, it is. And maybe it's entertaining. I'm actually really excited. Like, I have been thinking a lot about talking about this next fighter, and I'm really excited.
Hooray! Put your
so
squid hat on, baby.
Booyah!
Woo me!
Booyah! Squid bagging.
It's Inkling.
It's the Inkling. Okay, so no surprise, Inkling is a 5 out of 5 for me. Inkling was actually the character I voted for in the fighter ballot.
Nice. I know a lot of people did, so that works perfectly to Sakurai's advantage, because he was just like, we're already expecting to put this character in.
Exactly. So before I go off on Splatoon and how much I love it, and Inkling and how much I love them, what did you give them?
I gave Inkling a 4 out of 5.
Okay, respectable.
Quite enjoy this character.
Yeah.
But since you're the Inkling experts, go off.
Dude, okay, so here's the thing, like, I still vividly remember going over to my friend's house, like, staying the night, and he just hands me his Wii U, and is like, alright, you're playing through the story mode, and I was like, cool, I don't know what I'm doing, and I fell in love with it. Like, I love the aesthetic of, like, fashion, and the turf wars, and the way the ink mechanic works, and just, like, it was super fun. And then Splatoon 2 came out, and I had a Switch, and I could get the game, and so I played the crap out of it. And then the Octo expansion came out, and oh my goodness, I played so much of that. I beat the really stupid, like, secret boss, and I have the golden toothpick that you get from it. I don't even bother wearing it because I like my goggles better.
Mm-hmm.
But I adore Splatoon. I'm so excited for Splatoon 3. I am, like, incredibly hyped for it. And so yeah, like, Inkling, I think they're like the first character that when the game first came out, they were the first character we unlocked, and so I got a lot of time to play as the Inkling and get good with them. I love, like, the ink mechanic of, like, managing your ink. I don't know why, it's really fun.
Right on.
So yeah, big Splatoon nerd, big just Inkling enthusiast. I love also that they have the boy and the girl Inkling, and all of the different costumes are like the different outfits that you can get.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, Sakurai put so much love into this character, and I love the way that, like, they incorporated the ink and, like, increased damage when you ink an opponent. Like, it's just neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it comes to the alts, I was so close to getting exactly what I wanted, because, like, my favorite one is, like, the yellow color, you know, how it's got, like, the... What is it? You know, like, the story mode outfit?
Yeah, like the hero armor, basically. Yeah.
I love that color in that outfit, but I wanted it on the boy Inkling with the ponytail, and they only did it on the girl, so it's just like, alright, well, close. Not exactly
I
close
typically
enough.
just play as default girl Inkling, because
right.
They don't have my outfit from the game, which is like I have like the goggles. I have this like really cool like blue, like it's like a layered shirt with like a long sleeve shirt and then a shirt over it. Like cool squid arrows on it.
Right.
And so like the default Inkling is the closest that I can get.
Yeah, I tend to alternate between just boy Inkling and then the yellow one.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
for me to elaborate on this 4 out of 5, so I feel like the only reason this gets docked a single point, is because there's always got to be at least one of us being negative about a character, it seems.
Or we both agree.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes we have similar taste. But there's always got to be something negative to say about a character. And for me, I didn't really enjoy Splatoon's gameplay.
Really?
Which I know is heresy. And it's so funny, too, because you're, like, not into shooters, and you really love Splatoon, and I think shooters, and I'm not into this one.
I think part of it, too, is that, like, when I play online, I play with a roller.
Yeah.
Which is not a shooting thing. It is a
fair,
bop people with a stick.
Yeah, you just kind of roll it on the ground and then smack people.
But also, like, I appreciate that, like, I don't need pinpoint accuracy. This is why I don't play with the sniper rifles at all.
Right.
Because I like the Octo expansion. Those were the most difficult challenges for me. But also because, like, specifically, I really love the story mode. And I love like the platformer elements of it, of like how you paint the wall and then you climb up the side of it. Like it's like a puzzle, and I freaking love it.
I think in my case, just like, it's so weird. I love everything else about Splatoon. I love the world, the concept, the characters, the music, the visual flair. Everything about Splatoon is just charm overload. But I think mostly as somebody who pretty much only plays games single player, since I don't really do any online gaming and I rarely have time to get together with friends to play games, that kind of seemed like most of what Splatoon was the multiplayer appeal. And the story itself is, like, really cool, and the characters are fun. But as far as just, like, the level to level, I feel like it gets extremely repetitive.
That's fair.
And it's kind of like you're just going through levels like, can I get to the boss already? And then you get to the boss, and you're like, yeah, it's the boss! And then you're like, oh, I kind of already fought something like this in the last level. And then you get to the next level, and you do it again. But I don't know. That's just me. Like, again, everyone else is welcome to enjoy Splatoon. And with all that said, not liking Splatoon games, and also, like, I don't even play Inkling very much in Smash, this character still gets a 4 out of 5 because they're just perfect for Smash Bros. The thing about Inkling, I think the best way I can put it is, like, every single time we get a new character that's, like, the first new character we see in a new Smash Bros, it is always the perfect pick to, like, set us up for how much we're going to enjoy it. With Brawl, Meta Knight was the, why haven't we had this character yet? And then in Smash 4, it was Villager. And so now doing it again with Inkling, like,
yeah,
this is just one of those character picks that makes perfect sense, and you see them and you're like, oh, it's a new Smash Bros! Yeah! And it ushered in, I would say, the most exciting era of Smash. Because we got crazy animated trailers for every single character reveal.
Oh, the Inkling just looking up at the big logo, like,
it's so good.
I still, because you were, no, you were here for it.
I didn't leave to Ecuador until after the Ridley trailer. Ridley
Yeah.
was the last thing I saw, and then I left to Ecuador and went on a complete internet fast. It's so funny
Yeah.
how we both did that. You did it for Smash 4, I did it for Ultimate.
I know, it's so crazy. But like it was that E3 and how we just got like a Splatoon trailer. And then they're like, "All right, we got one last thing for you." And then it's more Splatoon and we're like, "What?" And then it's Smash Bros.
Yup.
It was too perfect.
It was good, but it was funny because you could kind of tell, like, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, these are like the Splatoon 1 character designs, and this has a very Splatoon 1 feel to it, and this animation is way more insane than we usually get for Splatoon.
Yeah. Oh, the one other thing I just wanted to say about Splatoon that was really fun, the Splatfests are so much fun.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Admittedly, a little bit less now that we don't have Miiverse.
Yeah.
Which is really sad because literally the 3 best Splatfests that I have like the fondest memories of were it was Pokemon Red and Blue.
Oh yeah.
Like Red versus Blue. That was a fun Splatfest because like we got so much cool like artwork of Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
The SpongeBob versus Patrick Splatfest.
Yeah, I forgot they did that. I love that.
Because again, it's just all of the SpongeBob memes, but then with Inklings.
That's right.
And then the other one that I have the most vivid memory of was the Autobots versus Decepticons.
Yeah.
And like, especially because I found one for Team Decepticon, and it was a drawing of Soundwave, and it just said Soundwave Superior.
Oh,
which has always been my tier list of like the Autobots are better than the Decepticons, but Soundwave is better than all of them.
Oh, that's good. I guess with this much, I don't know how much we'll ever get to talk about Splatoon on this podcast, but I just want to say DJ Octavio. DJ Octavio is like my favorite Splatoon thing that's ever been made. I love him so much.
See, I love the Octo expansion. Just all of the Octo expansion and the stuff with Agent 3.
Yeah. All of that. Not to mention we got a freaking Splatoon remix from Tomoyo Otani from the song.
Yes! Freaking Bomb Rush Blush. Oh my gosh, I cannot say that.
It's a tongue twister.
It is, and it's like my favorite Splatoon song to listen to. It's that and Now or Never, and also like the Calamari Incantation. Like,
yeah,
dude, that's the other thing too that's so cool about Splatoon is like its real world like marketing, and how like the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook and all of the other like in game, every song in there is from like an in-universe band. And the way that just the way that they do the music is so brilliant.
Yep.
In that, like, you know, it's what's popular in universe. Was it there's a band, or I think it's just a single artist that does like specific songs in Splatoon that's called Dead Fish.
Oh, that's
which
cool.
is like a Dead Mouse like parody thing.
That's creative.
And all of their songs are like dope. It's so good.
Yeah, I guess that's what we got to say about our first stop.
Yeah.
On the
I know.
train.
We've got a lot, and I'm gonna try and like rein it in on some of these. But like the Inkling, I had to make sure that I talked about how much I
know.
love
I
them.
feel like there's this one for you, and then the next one, like I'm gonna really gush about.
Yeah, yeah.
But shall we get to it then?
Yeah.
I can't believe Mega Man and Mario are freaking dead.
I know.
It's Ridley.
It's Ridley. It finally happened.
He was finally just big enough, but not too big to get into Smash.
He hits the big time.
The biggest thing for me, about Ridley that I love so much during that trailer is the fact that he he murders Mario, which in the first place is great, but then he takes his cap and he spins it on his finger in the Mario Odyssey way. It's such a nice detail.
Legitimately, that trailer, like, especially now that I've now played through all, like, the classic Metroid games, the fact that, like, there's that shot of Samus where, like, you just see her, like, oh no.
Yeah,
like,
she just stops and, like, inhales. All
like,
right,
all
let's
right.
do this.
Let's do this again.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
We're in all our excitement, we didn't even say our ratings.
Oh no, 5.
Yep, 5.
5. It's funny because I feel like the hype for Ridley has died down, like, a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Admittedly, because, like, I know people who are, like, Ridley mains specifically, and so, like, the hype hasn't died down for them, but, like, it felt like it was just this cacophonous, like, put Ridley in Smash, and then he was in, and then nobody talked about him.
Yeah, I think part of it comes to, like, everybody's always looking for the next big character reveal. So it's like, once you get one, it's like, okay, we have Ridley now. He's in the vault. What's next? Like, because I
That's
mean,
why people wouldn't shut up about Waluigi.
Yeah, like, let's face it. There's Nintendo fans, especially Smash Bros. Fans, are ravenous. Like, they just want more and more new exciting stuff.
Can't be satisfied. So, like, because of that, and because I had no Metroid experience, like, you know, I was like, oh, okay, Ridley's in there. I'm sure people will be happy about that. And then I was surprised when people stopped talking about him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, like, nobody would shut up about this for years, and now suddenly, like, now nobody's talking about him.
Yeah, and definitely time changes our perspective on things. People have had time to see, like, oh, he's low tier, so
yeah,
no one's gonna use him, which is hilarious because I actually still see people using Ridley in tournaments and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like,
oh yeah,
he actually does get used, even though he's quote low tier.
But I will say now, especially after going through all the Metroid games, like, I'm so glad Ridley's in the game, and like, I now, like, I get it. He is one of the most iconic Metroid characters.
Yep.
And so, like, you know, of course people wanted him. Like he definitely is a phenomenal villain to rep in the franchise. So, like, yes, of course, Ridley. It's just it's fascinating that I have, like, this different perspective. Like, if you had asked me before we'd gone through all the Metroid games, Ridley would have been a much lower rating for me.
Oh yeah.
But now, like, you know what my favorite thing is about Ridley?
What?
His freaking, like, grab and, like, his command grab thing.
Oh, where he drags him on the ground and then chucks him.
Because, like, that wasn't a thing until Brawl.
Yep.
Like, it was in that cutscene of him doing that to Samus.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it happened in Other M.
Yeah, it was Smash Bros. Influencing other games.
Smash Bros. Has a way of just doing that.
There's so much stuff. I remember I was trying to make a list of, like, all the things that were, like, they happened in Smash Bros. Before happening in a game.
Yeah.
And, like, because I wasn't writing it down, I was just thinking it in my head. I lost track way too easy. There's so many.
There's so many.
Yeah, but it was so interesting in the case of Ridley. With me, I feel like I would have felt the same way as you, had I not been getting into Metroid right before it happened, in Ultimate. But, like, I'd played through Super Metroid, I played through Prime 1, and I was just all in on the, like, okay, yes, now I agree, Ridley needs to happen. Size isn't the problem, they just have to make a moveset that represents Ridley but also isn't cheap. And
yeah,
my golly, they did it.
yeah, no, I'm fascinated with like how Sakurai chose to make this moveset, because like Ridley's whole thing is that like he flies. He's like this very like aerial based character.
It depends on the game.
Well, yeah, it does depend on the game.
It seems like this Ridley pulls a lot from, like, even though there's not a lot to pull from, but the first Metroid, because he's about the same size as Samus in that game, and is mostly like he's on the ground and spits fireballs, which is like what he's doing in Smash.
Well, but like more specifically how well his character translated to Smash.
Yeah.
In like how just like violent and aggressive he is. I'm so glad we have the model that we do too. That we don't have the other M model.
Oh. Yeah, that one looks strange.
It just like it was, that model looked good for the time, but like this design for Ridley is just like, it's so good.
Should we ever see Ridley show up in more games, I hope he does look like this.
Mm-hmm.
Excluding maybe like Meta Ridley with like the Prime games. But we got both of those.
Uh-huh.
So honestly, in my opinion, I guess I'll see how you're feeling about this, but in my opinion, I feel like Ridley is the best Nintendo villain. And I know that's a bold claim, because there's a lot of good Nintendo villains. There's your Ganondorfs, your Bowsers,
your Bowsers.
You got like Andross. Even Black Shadow, just for the memeability. Like,
what about Lysander?
Lysander from Pokemon.
I just wanted to throw that out there as a joke.
I mean, you say I think Pokemon consistently makes pretty good villains, but like, I mean, I guess Pokemon's in its own category. But like, as far as like Nintendo stuff, I think Ridley is the best Nintendo villain. Because he's just so horrifically, unapologetically evil, and like he's always got these crazy boss fights in all these games. They're always difficult. Somehow they always make them difficult, which is amazing.
Because like my mind, I was trying to think of like all the franchises that we've covered, and I was like, well, Kid Icarus, like Hades is pretty freaking great.
That's true.
But like he's a different kind of like he's super smarmy and like funny.
Well,
like,
I'll say this much, because thinking about it, Hades is probably like my favorite villain ever. But he's kind of like a secondary thing, because he's from Sora, which is within Nintendo. I'm talking mostly like the main first party Nintendo household names.
First party Nintendo,
like not coming from secondary studios.
Okay, in that case, yes, absolutely Ridley, absolutely, no question.
Right, because definitely once you start thinking about like what are the bad guys like in Kid Icarus or in Pokemon or in in Kirby, like, yeah, definitely a lot more interesting stuff that competes comes up. But as far as just like the household Nintendo names, I think Ridley's the best. And that theme song.
Oh man, yeah.
That one, especially like the new remix that they did for Ultimate, is I could listen to it for 10 hours.
It's so good.
I really love that one. The only thing maybe I would say that they did wrong with Ridley is that they should have made his down air the pogo stick tail thing that he does in Super Metroid.
Counter argument though, then we'd have to deal with that.
I mean, like,
I know,
because his down air already is like a straight down slam, but just like you bounce.
You hit the ground and you bounce. Oh man. Oh man.
And like instead of having like a meteor smash effect, like it has you like bounce off, like almost like a semi footstool.
Like Link's down air.
Yeah, kind of like that. I mean, Link's down air does spike as well, but
oh. Now I'm just thinking about that.
But I mean, just playing as Ridley is great. You get all his like gnarly, scary growls. You can drag people on the ground. You get the down B with like the sweet spot where it just immobilizes them and does 50 damage.
That.
Oh.
His dumb taunt where he stands up.
He's like, heh.
Feels too big for Smash, huh?
Well, the funny thing about it, it looks so stupid because it's just Ridley standing up straight, but it's actually him in the pose, like Metroid 1 Ridley.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's technically a classic thing, but it just looks funny.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was the... Did you ever see, like, the funny Ridley memes that was on the shared content?
Funny Ridley memes and shared content.
It was the thing, like, so on the shared content, there'd be these videos titled Funny Ridley or Funny Ridley.
I don't think I saw those.
Basically, it's just the camera right in Ridley's face, and then he stands up, and it plays, like, one of the many meme songs, like Megalovania, or Guile's theme, or, you know, or, like, Persona. It'd just play one of those, and he'd just, like, and then it would end.
Comedy gold.
It's pretty great. I don't know. Like, Ridley and Smash is just, it's a dream come true. Now that I'm a Metroid fan, at least. I guess the last thing I can say about Ridley before we move on, again, like I said, the last thing that I got to see of Smash Bros. Before going on my technology fast for a year and a half was that E3 where they did the everybody's here and then like the Ridley reveal right at the end. And so I did hear some things about like characters that came out later while I was in Ecuador. But the entire time that I was there, I was just thinking about Ridley and Smash. Like I was so excited for that, and I was just thinking about like, oh, how's the moveset gonna be, and how's the the music and the
oh yeah, because we didn't learn about his moveset until the second, like the next Smash Direct.
Right. I mean, like, I saw enough from the trailer, but, like, you can't make sense of everything in a trailer. But, like, I was just thinking about that the whole time, and I was just like, man, I want to play that game. Mm-hmm. Oh, good memories.
Good stuff. All
right. But shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Next we got a classic, if I say so myself, and truly the man of God that we all needed. We got Simon Belmont.
Oh, the Belmont boys.
What'd you give Simon?
I gave Simon a 5.
Nice,
like,
me too.
I understand people are really annoying with this character, but like...
Yeah, it's a zoning character.
At this point, I wanted a Belmont in, just because, like, Castlevania is such a big, like, staple of Nintendo history.
I know, it's such a classic.
It felt wrong that we had gone so long without a Castlevania character.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, we now in this game have the Captain N squad.
Yeah!
we have Simon Belmont, Mega Man, and Pit.
And Mother Brain as an assist trophy.
I know!
Oh, Captain N.
No, but like, legitimately, the trailer for Simon is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's so good. And
Luigi actually dies.
Luigi actually dies. Literally killed by the Grim Reaper himself. But like, and I believe you weren't here for this, but Nintendo had to actually officially tweet out Luigi is fine.
Too many kids watching their streams.
Just because everyone's like, Luigi's dead. He's removed from the roster. They're like, oh no, he's fine. He's fine. Just very scared.
Yep. That's
but
good.
like, oh, Castlevania music, dude.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I have in my notes here. Music.
Yes. Oh man.
There is so much good Castlevania stuff. The one I don't know what it freaking is, but Bloody Tears. That song just hits every sweet spot for me, every right note. Everything I need in epic video game music.
Yeah. Well, and then the trailer continues. And
like, I guess the last thing I want to say specifically
go ahead.
about Simon, I mean this is the case for the other character, but exactly the same deal as Mega Man. I love how much Simon plays like he does in.
He's got the Belmont strut.
He's got the strut with the arm pump. He's got like the whipping arcs, right down to like the victory animation of him just jumping and whipping in place, which is like when you in the first game after you beat a boss and you like grab the little orb thing, it plays the little victory music and it's like you did it and you can't move, but you can still jump and you can still use your whip. So it just kind of replicates that, like, well, I got nothing else to do, so you just hop in place and use the whip.
Yep. We need to. I have it on my list, but at some point we're gonna play through Castlevania games together for this podcast.
Right. I pray that we do not play the NES ones. They are so hard.
we're gonna. The one that I wanna play with you is Super Castlevania.
Yeah, because that's the one I haven't played. I played through the first Castlevania, and even with save states, I couldn't beat it.
Yeah.
But
Super Castlevania 4 is legitimately just Castlevania 1, but Super Nintendo.
But radical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And it's like, even without having played that, I love Castlevania. I think it's awesome. Okay. But now to go back to your earlier point, the trailer didn't end. We got somebody else.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, we got What is a Man? A miserable little pile of secrets. We got Dracula as a boss. I just want to highlight that.
Yep.
How freaking wonderful that is.
Dracula's one of the coolest bosses too, because it's the fact that he's got the two phases where you fight him like in the normal human form, and then he turns into the big. I know it's a Konami game, but the thing that comes to mind is just Capcom Monster.
Yeah.
I mean, early Konami and Capcom were kind of doing the same thing. But, yeah, Dracula's got his big monster form and everything. That boss is great.
And then...
But then we get Richter.
The rest of the quote. Die, monster, you don't belong in this world. Ah! So, like... I tend to play Richter a little bit more.
Okay.
Than Simon.
So what would you give him?
I give him a 5. They're both 5s.
I will say specifically Richter, I give him a 3. I'm kind of middle of the road on him just because, like, it's almost an identical moveset to Simon. The only thing that's different is the little fire jar, like the holy water thing. It's a different color, and so it doesn't count as quote fire damage. Wow, what a change! It's like even worse than Pit and Dark Pit. In that regard.
That's fair.
Plus the only other thing that I will say about Richter that makes me not like it as much, So while I was in Ecuador, somebody told me, "Oh, there's 2 Castlevania characters coming to Smash Bros." And they didn't know anything about Castlevania at all. So like they're like, I don't know who these characters are, but they're 2 characters from Castlevania. I was convinced, like obviously Simon, because you have to do Simon, but I was convinced it was going to be Trevor, and I wanted Trevor in Smash so bad, and it just wasn't him.
See, everyone wanted Alucard.
Alucard is fair as well, but I like Trevor Belmont, man.
It's the anime, dude. The anime made him popular.
Is that freaking Netflix show?
It was.
And that was the thing. I was like, oh, it's gonna be Simon and Trevor, and then I saw it was Richter, and I was like, oh.
So here's the thing too. There's a video on there. It is one of the most wholesome reactions I've ever seen.
Right.
Because there's this guy like watching the trailer blind, and it's Simon, and he's like, "Oh my goodness!" And he's like, "Okay, like, I'd rather have Richter because he's my boy, but like, I'm still really happy that we got a Castlevania character in here." And then Richter shows up, and this like grown adult man like just starts tearing up, and he's just like, "It's him! We got Richter!"
That is a thing of beauty. And that is the beauty of Smash. Even if there's, like, characters that, you know, we're not particular about, they're always somebody's favorite.
Mm-hmm. And that, it's funny, because, like, I got the Sonic and Inkling. And so I was like, my dream list is done. Like,
yeah.
give me whomever, and I will be thrilled about it. And so, like, that was why, like, Ridley got announced, and I was like, okay, I didn't ask for this, but I'm happy for all the Ridley, like all the Metroid fans.
Right.
And then, you know, we got Simon and Richter, and I was like, 2 Castlevania guys. I'm happy for all of the Castlevania fans.
It's one of those ones, it's satisfying just to see, like, Nintendo is, like, fulfilling Smash Bros. Fans' wishes with all these character reveals. And
Not to mention, this was so funny, because Sakurai is like, don't expect too many new characters.
Yeah.
And then the very next direct gives us like Chrom, Dark Samus, the Belmont boys, and our next character. And we're like, what the heck, Sakurai?
Don't expect too many characters. So you see that and you're like, this is all of them, right? And then we keep getting more.
It was ridiculous.
I love
dude.
Sakurai.
The man is a madman and a genius, and I love him so much. The man needs to rest now.
Yep. But enough talk. Have at you. Oh, that scene is great. I still like Richter for that. I think in general also like Richter has a very cool character design.
Oh, of course.
It has a way of feeling like closer to modern than Simon, but still feeling old school at the same time. Which is hard to do, so that's pretty cool.
One day we'll eventually sink our teeth into Castlevania.
Yep.
Vampires.
We'll have more to say about that, but it'll be specifically focused on Simon, because that's Castlevania 4. But
yeah, we'll do that, and I do want to play. Is it Symphony of the Night?
Symphony of the
Aria
Night,
of Sorrow?
I think Symphony of the Night is the one that everybody.
It's the one with
talks about.
Alucard.
Yeah,
and it literally starts with the quote.
I'm pretty sure it's Symphony of the Night. People in the comments, please correct us if you know which one it is. But Symphony of the Night is the one that everybody talks about. So even if that's not the one, we're probably gonna end up playing that. All right, our next character.
Oh, dude,
another bombshell.
This was the wildest way to end that direct.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Let me remind you, we got both the Belmont boys, Chrom, and Dark Samus, plus like a bunch of other like, you know, details and stuff. We learned about Ridley's moveset and how it works.
And
like literally, like Sakurai like is like, all right, that's it, and like and he's like waving goodbye, and like the screen starts shaking.
Yeah,
and you hear just like heavy footsteps, and everyone's like, what? And then This, like, I can't begin to express to you, like, the buildup of that trailer of, like, here's all of these, like, iconic rivalries, like heroes and villains, and then it just cuts to Donkey Kong and Diddy.
It's so good.
And then the fact that, like, in the trailer it was Diddy, who is voiced by Sakurai, and we're like, Sakurai is a troll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. But yeah, I should just say it is King K. Rool.
Yep. That reveal trailer, man.
That was such a great trailer.
All right, what do you do? I have to ask, what do you give King K. Rool?
5.
Nice, me too. We're on the same page with all
goodness.
these ultimate reveals.
No, yeah, like, King K. Rool, absolutely, like, 5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
His moveset is so fun. The music in that trailer is so good.
That remix.
I would
That
argue
song slaps.
there's a lot of great music in this game, but I would argue, like, top 5 original arrangements for this game, like, it's gotta at least be top 5, if not, like, number 1.
Yep. One of my favorite things about it is just the little, like, rap section. Cause there's a part where it kind of breaks down. There's a guy, like, rapping, and it's so funny because, like, we've had the DK rap for years, and it seems like the whole point of, like, King K. Rool's design in Smash is him trying to one up DK.
Yeah.
And do everything DK does, but more stylishly. And so it's like he gets his own rap that's, like, even jazzier and even crazier.
Yeah. For me, it's the part where the trumpets kick in.
Yeah.
Like, and especially that bit in the trailer where, like, they run at each other and, like, their fists collide and there's, like, that big shockwave. Like, it's so cool.
The trailer is awesome, man. And it was so funny too because so King K. Rool was another one that I heard about while I was in Ecuador, which blew my mind. I was like, he made it. They actually did King K. Rool. He's back. And I was expecting, like, oh, they're probably gonna do, like, a metal remix of Gangplank Galleon, because, like, that's what Smash Ultimate music is doing, right? It's all, like, metal remixes. And so the fact that they went more this, like, this high energy, jazzy, like, blaring brass, just intensely frantic arrangement of this song, it threw me so off guard.
I know, dude.
And it's insane how high tempo it is, like, because the other one has this very steady bass with, like, a doom 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 doom, and so the fact that they changed that to bump it a 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 bump, it's just so, like, whoa, slow down.
It's so good,
man.
Like, that's the thing too. We didn't grow up with a lot of Donkey Kong games.
No.
As mentioned earlier, like,
basically none.
Especially even less with, like, K. Rool, because I think we briefly played Donkey Kong Country 64 or DK64.
Yeah, DK64. We, like, you played through a bit of the story mode. I pretty much only played the multiplayer, so, like,
I'm so glad I saw the game over screen.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
the
final
perfect
smash.
final smash.
That's the one, like, Rare, they knew how to do game overs so well. Like, they'd rub it in your face when you died.
But yeah, so, but, like, that was about it for K. Rool. Like, I knew he was this big, popular character. Most of my involvement with this character was from the terrible, like, animated series.
You mean the great animated series?
It is great because it is terrible. But yes, it
is pure, like, raw, so bad it's good energy harnessed into an entire show. And K. Rool especially in that show, he was
K. Rool is
amazing.
the best character in that show, no question.
I mean, I also like the pirate guy.
Yeah, and it's the fact that like K. Rool looks the way he does, but he speaks with this regal elegance.
Mm-hmm.
The crystal coconut.
The crystal coconut.
So you can roll your R's, you can do it better than I can. But like it's the fact that he's this like disgusting looking character, but
Yep.
like
But he's so like self-absorbed and kingly and regal.
he's one of those just like really like comedically like not evil characters, but he's evil.
Right. He's just so hilariously vain. He's kind of like the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik.
I was just about to say that. It's one of those where like that's kind of the joke is that they're not that evil, but they are.
Yeah.
There's actually like an episode that has an actual song about how he is not that evil.
Well, they also have a song about him where he is evil, but
I mean, yeah.
there's a song number from his called it's like My Finest Hour.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he's going to be the biggest, baddest, evilest thing. And so, like, when Smash Ultimate was rolling around, people were, like, playing that song and being like, he needs to get in Smash so he can have his finest hour. And I'd say he got it.
Yeah. I do love how, like, his whole moveset is, like, it's either references to, like, other games, or it's just, like, involved around, like, his belly and, like, his super armor,
Right.
and, like...
I will say, I think it's kind of stupid they gave him a counter. Like, any Fire Emblem character out there, of course, we're going to roll our eyes at them having a counter, but, like, K. Rool has no business having counter as a move.
It's his glorious belly, man.
It's just so, like, I get that Sakurai was going for, like, a sumo wrestler kind of thing with, like, K. Rool's build. It makes sense, but just, like, a counter, man? It couldn't have just been, like, a reflector or something, like...
Yeah. I will say, though, like, he more than makes up for it with that blunderbuss.
Yeah, the blunderbuss is great.
The blunderbuss is such a fun, like... The way you can, like, reabsorb the bullet, like, the cannonball, and then fire it at an angle, and then combo off of that. The first time there was a clip of that, everyone lost it.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, me oh my. King K. Rool is great, and here's the biggest thing for me. I, like, even though, like you said, we didn't have much experience with the Donkey Kong series, I always wanted King K. Rool in Smash 1 because there was tons of supporters for him, and I wanted to see all of them be happy. But also, like, I just want Nintendo to bring this character back, and they have no reason not to. Like, every time they make a Donkey Kong game, like, they've been adding new villains to the mix. And, like, the new villains are always interesting and cool and stuff, but, like, just once I want to see them bring back K. Rool.
Just have this guy come back and be just as big and flamboyant and terrifying as he was in DK64.
Right. And not just that, but, like, in all the games he was
in.
Yeah.
In all the... I say that. They're like, one of the games, I think he has a thing like, my wife's gonna kill me. Like...
He's a fun character.
He's a fun character.
Oh, man.
He's an absolute goon, but I love him. Ooh! I see who's next.
We got another fun character next. Would you like to introduce them for us?
Yeah. It's Isabelle!
Hooray!
What did you give Isabelle? I'm curious, actually.
So, unfortunately, we need to take a small break on the 5 out of 5 train. But I gave Isabelle a 4 out of 5.
A 4 out of 5. Well, joke's on you. I'm still riding that train. Isabelle's still a 5 out of 5.
Wait, no! I need to get to the next stop.
Sucks to be you. I'm driving away on the train, going to a new town. Rover's sitting next to me. He's asking me questions.
That's not the Animal Crossing train. That's the hype train.
Yeah. No,
All right,
but legitimately, Isabelle was the character that like I didn't know I wanted in Smash. Like like until she was there, I didn't realize how much I wanted her in the game. Which is funny because I'd never played an Animal Crossing game with her in it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like,
she's
that's not true.
Yeah, she's not from like my era of Animal Crossing. Like we played the GameCube one.
Yeah,
religiously.
We did have Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Yep.
And I would play as Isabelle.
And it's funny because you, me, and Steven are like the only 3 people in the world that like that game.
I enjoy it. Maybe because I like RNG and just like I just sit down and have fun with that game. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, for me, it's not like Mario Party where like I'm in it to win it and I get super competitive and angry when luck doesn't go my way. Like, because it's purely luck, I don't take it too seriously. And so you're just kind of like soaking in the world and enjoying like, all
it's just a pleasant little game.
The funny things that are happening to the characters and whatever. But yeah, it's a game that's 100% luck based and 0% skill based. So
yeah, well, not to mention because once again you missed this by being away. But the Nintendo Direct was going on. They're like, all right, final announcement, and then it's Isabelle in the office, and we're like, okay, is this Smash Bros? Or is this Animal Crossing? Because we don't know about either.
Because everyone was wondering if it was a new Animal Crossing. Because there hadn't been one for so long. But then Isabelle makes like references to Smash and everything, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because I think Pocket Camp was the most recent thing.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they want me in Smash Bros. And then I'm just like, she's adorable! And then the memes that followed were so wonderful. Because, like, it was one of 2 ways. Either Isabelle is too cute to be harmed, or she is, like, the most terrifying, like, fighter on the planet.
The Doom
And there was
Slayer.
no middle ground. And it was so much fun. And then my favorite one was, like, Tom Nook watching the Direct. And he's like... And he was like, it was like 4 years ago, that could have been me. Like, if only I could turn back time, but then a mole would yell at me. Like,
yep. It was so funny that, like, because before even Villager was a thing, everyone was like, they should put Tom Nook in Smash.
Yeah, because he's an iconic character.
But it was just so like, no, it's just the faceless, nameless villager. And it's like, okay. And it's like, okay, but what about an Echo Fighter? It would be Tom Nook, right? And it's like, well, now Isabelle is the most popular, so...
Yeah, I just, like... Once again, I didn't realize I needed Isabelle until she got announced. And then, like, I played the heck out of Isabelle. I freaking love Isabelle.
Yeah.
I love fishing for kills.
Yep.
Her fishing rod is so much fun.
Just a very cute character.
Which, again, it's so funny that we have Ridley and Isabelle.
Smash takes all kinds.
and then what's great though is then the whole thing with like Doom Eternal coming out the same day that Animal Crossing New Horizons did, and so that spawned all of the Isabelle and Doom guy are friends.
Yeah,
memes, and it's just I love what Smash Bros has done for Isabelle as a character.
Yeah,
it has been
definitely.
wonderful.
And then the fact, like, the Doom Slayer, just, like, the Mii costume makes him tiny, so he's Isabelle-sized.
I know! He's villager-sized.
There's that one video of Doom Guy coming in and buying a copy of Animal Crossing, and then Isabelle comes in and she wants to buy Doom.
It's so good.
Oh, it's great. Alright, we ready to move on?
Yup.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for fighter number 69.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was a thing that happened. I forgot about that.
Sorry, I just had to be. A sudden urge to be really unfunny came over me. I'll try and get that out of my system. We got Incineroar next.
Incineroar.
Egg. That was like our first blooper that we had on Tradin Faves, just talking about that. For more information, please watch Tradin Faves Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
All
so, what did you give Incineroar?
All right. Brace yourselves, Pokemon fans, for a very uninteresting take. I give him a 3 out of 5. Completely middle of the road.
3 out of 5. I gave him a 2.
A 2. Makes sense.
Here's the thing, though. Smash Bros. Actually made me like Incineroar more.
Oh, same. Definitely.
And most especially because I played the Big the Cat alt, as I like to call it.
The purple one.
I play purple Incineroar because I'm like, it's Big the Cat.
He's a big cat, but he's shredded.
Yo, I heard Big the Cat is shredded. He had an 8-pack.
Oh, it's too good. What I can mostly say about Incineroar and what explains best of all my middle of the road rating for him, he was not the starter Pokemon that I picked in Sun and Moon. I was
Same.
I was Team Decidueye all the way.
I was Team Poplio.
Right, so excuse
me. No
me.
Baracat for me.
Yeah, it was it was just funny the progress of like, oh, he's a cute little kitten. Now he's like a bigger, cooler kitten. And then everyone in the world was just like, please don't stand on your hind legs and become a firefighting type. And then they revealed Incineroar and he's a wrestler. And everyone's like, no! And it's like, fire and dark type. That was funny. And, like, I don't know, that's the thing. Incineroar was not my Pokemon of choice. Hilariously enough, he was, I guess you could say he was my final boss of Sun and Moon. Because of the starter that I picked.
Oh, that's right.
But in general, like, I love Sun and Moon. Generation 7 of Pokemon is one of my toppest favorites. Like, I love Generation 1, I love Generation 4, and I really love Generation 7. So, with that, like, I really love Sun and Moon, and I love that there's anybody from Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
And in general, I think Incineroar's got a neat moveset. He's, I don't know, especially now that I have Ridley, there's like fast heavyweight characters. I kind of prefer those to the slower ones. Mm-hmm. But he is fun to play as. I do like him.
Yeah. It's interesting too with him because like a lot of people were disappointed with Incineroar because there was the Grinch leak that happened. And like it starts off with Ken, and so everyone's like, the Grinch is real, like the Grinch leak is real, and then Incineroar shows up and everyone's like, no.
And then worst of all, the quote Grinch leak had like 4 fighters, and it was just Ken and the Incineroar that were announced.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I'm so glad I missed that. Like, I love not having leaks to deal with. Like, only getting true factual information.
I didn't look up the leak. I avoided it entirely because I was like, I don't want to get my hopes up and then be upset. And so literally there was a cacophony of just upset people surrounding me. I'm just like, Incineroar. Neat.
Yeah.
Weird choice, but neat. Why is this the last fighter we're getting?
As far as Sun and Moon stuff, like I was really hoping for Tapu Koko. That was the one I really wanted, but it's like we already have 2 electric type Pokemon. But then again, we already have, you know, Charizard, so
I know.
It's kind of silly.
I will say, like, it's not my playstyle, but I love how weird Incineroar's moveset is.
He's a heel.
I know!
You get all this, like, flexing for the camera and, like, taunting people and being like, what? You want some of this, bro?
You can't handle me, brother!
I think most of all, like, what I associate this character with is just Steven destroying me as Incineroar.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
lost many a game to his Incineroar.
Oh, when the game came out, I for a time had to ban his Incineroar because I got so salty fighting it.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'll say is the best thing about Incineroar in Smash?
What?
His final smash. He's got a really great final smash.
Goodness, yes.
Deep down in my soul, I'm also still kind of bitter that it wasn't like Decidueye, because like Sinister Air Raid is
I mean, yeah,
a cool attack. I would have loved to see that in Smash Bros. But the way it, like, you're in the boxing ring, he like does the crazy like uppercut combo, and then he slams down on them with his head, like with his arms folded, like, I did it. And it just crashes into the stadium and explodes. It almost kind of ends like a SpongeBob bit with like just a random explosion.
Yeah. Random explosions will always be entertaining to me. They will never not be funny to me.
Also, I really appreciate that they made his Darkest Lariat as underwhelming looking as it looks in the Pokemon games.
The T-pose spin.
In fact, it's even like more underwhelming because like you get like the cool background when you use it in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Of him like and he dashes and he does the lariat and smacks into people. Just in Smash he just spins.
Yeah, well what's great though is that we can get that move with Kirby.
Yeah. Very true.
It's silly, it's weird. It is one of the funniest, just like, yep, okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is our final fighter, but actually
it's not.
Unless you had more to say about it.
The last thing I do want to say about Incineroar, I appreciate that because he was a Gen 7 Pokemon, a lot of like modern Pokemon music came with. Like we got like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire music, we got Sun and Moon music. I always appreciate when they're like remixes of the newer game stuff and not just like, oh, here's the song from a newer game. It's already MP3 quality, so we don't have to do anything with it. It's like they like remix new stuff. And what's the one? The Sun Moon Elite 4 battle music. That may be like my favorite song that Smash Ultimate added.
Yeah,
because it's just it's so tense. It's so good.
It's good, all right.
But yeah, moving on to our next one, a fighter that nobody in their wildest dreams would have predicted this would have been a fighter.
Actually, Introspective did.
Oh, right, because he did his like character predictions and he said
like
everything.
100 characters I would like to see, and he literally just threw in a Piranha Plant as a joke, and then he was like, I called it! I called it!
And it's like, technically you didn't call it, you just threw it out there, and it happened to be true. Like,
it happened to be right.
You're no prophet, you're good at guessing games.
What did you give Piranha Plant?
Let's have you go first.
Okay, I gave Piranha Plant a 5.
Maybe I should have gone first.
Yeah.
Well, I gave him a 4.
Okay, a 4 is fine. Here's the thing.
I wasn't sure if you liked this character or not.
No. I absolutely love it. Like, I don't play Piranha Plant. I'm not good with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I love... So here's the thing. Incineroar was such a like disappointing way to end.
I know, you're like, that's it?
We're like, because like we had so many like wild character picks that were like never in a million years.
Mm-hmm. And then just the newest Pokemon.
yeah, and like we're like, well, it was like Ken, who's an echo of Ryu, so like we already know how he's gonna play, and Incineroar, and like that was it. And we're just like, this is a weird way to go out. But then Sakura's like, oh, we are doing DLC. And then Piranha Plant. And it is it is the funniest thing because it is the, like, I would dare say, like, no one really expected it. It was so just out of nowhere.
It was, without a doubt, the strangest inclusion in Smash Bros. Because it's not even like a niche, like, unknown character. It's not like a Game & Watch thing where it's this, like, historically relevant relic of its time. It's literally just one of the most common enemies in the Mario series.
Yeah, it's literally like the second enemy you encounter that isn't a Goomba.
It's just a thing that comes out of a pipe and jumps.
Yeah, and like the fact that he's got little feet when he runs, and just like there's so much personality in this dumb plant.
Piranha Plant is a prime example of making a lot out of a little.
Yes.
I would say it is just the most perfect, like, troll character. Like, you guys want Joker from Persona 5, critically acclaimed RPG? Here's Mario enemy.
Yeah. No, and it was funny too, because like people, complain about, oh, there's too much Fire Emblem. Like, there's so many Mario characters, and like sub Mario characters if you count like Yoshi and Wario and Donkey Kong, like in their own franchises. And then it's just a Piranha Plant.
It's just a Piranha Plant. Like, really, a Goomba would have been like the only other thing they could do that's like, but like, the Goomba is more iconic, so it's even weirder that it's just the Piranha Plant.
Yeah! It's so, I don't know, it was so weird, and it was like I was sitting there, I was like, this is the best note Smash Bros. Could go out on. Like,
I know a lot of people were just like, not happy, not mad, but just confused at this character.
Yeah, I was confused, but like immediately, like I was like, I'm in. I'm absolutely in.
I had too hard of a time like understanding this character, but it immediately turned around my opinion and was like, this is a welcome addition. The final Smash, it's Petey Piranha with the cages like in Subspace Emissary. That was the one thing that, like, I saw that and I was like, yes, Subspace Emissary. Okay, this character belongs here.
Yeah, it was a great tie-in. But yeah, and just, I don't know, like, it's just funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny to me, and like that alone makes him a 5.
I think the only other way they could replicate something like this is with, like, have you seen Dr. Goomba stack?
Yeah,
the 3 Goombas in a doctor suit.
Yeah, the 3 Goombas with a PhD, mind you.
Well, no one in the Dr. Mario universe has a PhD. They're all home remedy.
I'm reminded of the Brawl in the Family comic where just like Mario's taking like the test and he's just like throw the right colored pill at the virus or whatever, and then it just cuts to him talking to Peach and just guess who's a doctor.
Yep. So I think Dr. Goomba stack is the only other one that I could be like, all right, this is an appropriate troll. I like this. But, like, I really don't think Smash Bros. Could ever recreate a character reveal like this.
No. Well, and especially, it's because this, as far as we knew, was the last character.
Yep.
but then, like, also immediately afterwards, Sakurai was like, yeah, we were, like, this was supposed to be ready for the base game, and it's not ready yet, so it's going to be our first DLC fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was like, and more DLC is going to come. And so I was like, okay, this isn't the end, but like, as like the last fighter in the base game when it was like releasing to us, like, that was so funny. It was the greatest way he could have done it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Now we got to move on to our actual DLC fighters.
Yeah.
From the Fighter Pass. And this next one, he came out of nowhere. He stole our hearts as easily as he stole the Game Awards.
The Game Awards? I will say this. Joker gets the best character reveal just for how they did that trailer at the Game Awards.
I still think there's another one that did it better.
I mean, yeah,
but...
there is. But like conceptually, how like they snuck into the Game Awards.
They set it up that way
and set it up like brilliant trailer. If I bothered to watch the Game Awards and I wasn't standing in line to go get my copy of Smash Bros.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, starting off, okay, what did you give Joker?
So I gave Joker a 3 out of 5. Once again,
a 3 out of 5
middle of the road on this character.
Okay, so I have kind of a funny story. I have a funny combination of a story. So Joker was a 1 out of 5 for me. And the reason for that, I'll go into it. But I've bumped him up to a 1.5 because of something really funny that happened earlier this week. So, okay, so I have a coworker who has been playing through Persona 5.
Oh yeah.
This is so funny. He's gonna listen to this. So he'll come and he'll tell me about it. And you get to name your group. Like I think the default is the Phantom Thieves of Heart or whatever. But you can name them whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so like he sends me a text just explaining this to me, and then he says, "I can't stop laughing, send help," and then sends me a picture of he named the group Bean Boys.
Bean Boys. Oh no.
Just
oh,
it's
no.
so funny.
Me and the boys at 3 a.m. looking for beans.
We're here to steal your heart and your beans. And just we have been laughing about that ever since.
That's pretty good.
So funny.
That's pretty good.
So funny, and like any character that can just get that kind of reaction out of me.
I don't know
like,
if it happened, but if your coworker ever plays Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, please have him name his team Bean Boys. Or pretty much anything where you get to name a team.
Bean Boys. It's extra funny too because like I think there are more girls.
Yeah.
In your team in Persona 5 because I think he's playing Royal, which
oh yeah.
Oh man. But okay, so I should probably explain why I gave him a 1.
Yes,
it's not because I dislike Joker. Like I like him. I love Persona 5's whole aesthetic. It's really cool. It's flashy and flamboyant. There's all the memes about Joker being Bayonetta's son. Which is my favorite.
I hadn't heard that. That makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Listen, you don't
glasses.
You don't have to justify your 1.5 to me because I am really like neutral on this character.
I mean, yeah,
but
I
do respect you because the internet's going to be on you for this.
There is a reason he is as low as he is. So, like, I think my entire friend group has played Persona 5. Like, they have played all of the Persona games, I think. They're big Persona fans. And he was the first DLC character. So, the moment he came out, I could not play a single game of Smash Bros. With my friends without having to fight a Joker. And I got so sick of him. Just like, I think for a while, he was my least favorite newcomer to Smash. Just because I was so sick of fighting him.
Yeah, I get you.
And since then, one, I have not played with my friends in a long time. So, like, that disdain has died down. And two, like, I still, like we said multiple times, a 1 does not mean we hate this character, get them off the roster. Like, I still like Joker. He's cool, he's slick, he has a gun.
His
Which
neutral
is-
special is gun.
The fact that Snake does not have a gun, but Joker does.
It shows how Smash has evolved.
Yes. I just find it hilarious.
Yep.
But yeah, and so like, and especially like, because I was kind of debating, like, I put Joker at a 1 because of all of that, but then like I was thinking about it, and then combined with like the Bean Boys thing, like I was like, I gotta at least give him a 0.5.
It's the Bean Boys. You gotta give them something.
I know, man.
At least give them 1 bean.
1 bean, 0.5 of a bean.
Okay, so this is a problem for me. Like, I've never played any Persona game ever. I have no understanding of anything about how the series works. So if I ever do go into Persona 5, I'm just gonna be thinking about Bean Boys. Yeah, I guess the deal for me, so like I have no investment to Persona at all. This wasn't even like an interesting, exciting reveal for me because this is one of the ones I heard about in Ecuador as well. Like it was just like, oh, Joker's here. Okay. A lot of people said he should be in. I was like, he's not Nintendo, so I don't know if that tracks, but Cloud is in, so maybe, and then he was. But like from the most outsider, not attached to Persona series, like here's my basic rundown of what I can say about Joker. I think he's got a cool character design.
Mm-hmm.
I like the trench coat. Like you said, the aesthetic of Persona 5 with that real like punchy, like edgy black lines with like red, black, and white colors and like the sort of comic booky feel to it.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is really cool. The fact that like he's got like the flippy gun moves.
Do you know what it is when I say like Persona aesthetic? It's the opening movie to Persona 5.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's-
them like skating around.
Yeah.
Like that bumping sound. Like, I will say, I was thrilled about Joker's inclusion, if for nothing else than the soundtrack.
Yeah, the music was great because that was maybe like barring King K. Rool. Like I was saying, what they were doing for all of like the Smash Bros remixes was like metal remixes. Or maybe like something symphonic or whatever. But for the most part, like it was mostly just rock. And so then Joker comes in and he brings all this jazz into the soundtrack. It's like, oh, this
like
is
jazz?
nice. And now with that said, I'm going to complain that there's not a rock song in Smash. I
think one of the Persona 4 songs is a rock song.
Right. But what I'm specifically talking about, so one of the only things I know about Persona 5, there's a song from the soundtrack called Blooming Villain. And it has one of the most amazing guitar solos I've ever heard. It is such a jam. And it's not one of the songs they included in Smash. It's like the first boss theme, I think. But it is such an amazing song. And it would have just been one of those really awesome songs to fight to in Smash. And they just didn't do that.
I'm putting it in my like watch later right now.
Do it, please. It's so good. Like everyone watching this, like add that to your to listen to list.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it when we're done with this.
The guitar solos, like it's really like heavy and intense and has a lot of like really rough sounding synths, and then it hits like this middle point where like the music just stops. And then just like the guitar solo comes in, and it's the coolest thing I've ever heard. And so I'm like, that one song alone is just like, I love Persona, if only for this song. But then as far as like in Smash, I don't really play as Joker. No one in my circle plays as him, so like, I just never see any involvement with this character.
Oh, I got too much.
Right, you got the overdose. I got like nothing, and so it's like I can't even remember all of his moves because no one plays as him. even like the more recent fighters, I see them and I'm like, oh yeah, like these are their specials. They got all this stuff. Even freaking KAZUYA and his 80 moves, like,
Yeah.
I still like know what he does. When I see a Joker, I'm like, wow, what are his moves again? He's got the little like grapple thing, and it's like, oh, okay, that's weird. But yeah, just nobody plays as him. I don't have any experience with Persona. Maybe one day. I'm not a big fan of really long RPGs with lots of like optional content. Just because like it's way too daunting for me. But if I do get involved in one, it's probably going to be the next character we talk about and not Joker. But maybe one day I'll play Persona 5. Plus there's Persona Strikers, which is Warriors gameplay, which I'm also not crazy about, but that's something too.
If they put Persona 5 on the Switch, I would be more inclined to play it, but
right. But it's such a massive game. Like
I know, and even then, I
don't know if they could do it, and there'd be like the loading times would just last forever, and it'd be like, no.
I know.
But
yep,
maybe someday. Sakurai played the heck out of Persona 5.
I know, yeah.
They like the Persona crew had like an interview with him. Like in conjunction with him being added to Smash, he did like a special interview just talking about Persona 5 and how much he loved it. And so I'm like, huh. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Looking cool, Joker.
Yeah.
I like Mark. So, I really like that design.
Yeah. Phenomenal character design.
Very cute. Okay. It's time to get old school.
It is.
We got Hero from Dragon Quest.
Oh, man.
Tell me, good sir, what do you give Hero?
This is going to be my big controversial one. I'm going to have to explain myself. I gave Hero a 5.
I don't feel like that's too controversial. I only feel like low ratings are controversial.
Well, okay.
Or so giving Sonic a high rating is controversial.
Oh, gosh.
Which we both did.
Here's the thing. It's because of the RNG elements and tournaments and people hating Hero because of RNG.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk about it, but what did you give Hero?
So I give Hero a 4 out of 5.
A 4 out of 5.
Also a character that I am very fond of.
Yeah. Because, like, I get it that, like, it's no fun to get invested in a big tournament with money on the line, and then RNG just screws you over.
Just instantly top deck, thwack, you're down a stock.
Yeah. That said, like, I'm the type of person that plays with items. I'm a casual Smash player.
Mm-hmm.
I love the hilarity and insanity of RNG.
Yeah.
I am the agent of chaos in Mario Party.
It's like I don't know, tournament Smash 1-on-1s are fun, but like the chaotic Mario Party style energy of playing with items, with stage hazards.
Some of the funniest things in this game have happened to me because I play with items.
Same.
Like deep drop my controller on the floor, like gasping and wheezing. I am laughing so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Hero just kind of adds to it.
Yeah.
And like, here's the other thing too, is like, I love the Dragon Quest series. Go figure, it is the grandfather of one of my favorite RPGs of all time, Chrono Trigger. Go watch our Chrono Trigger episode or play it first.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter which RPG is one of your favorites of all time.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
It's the grandfather of whichever RPG is your favorite, because Dragon Quest pioneered everything that's in RPGs. Honestly, like everything. You like Pokemon? It's inspired by Dragon Quest. You like Final Fantasy? Heavily inspired by Dragon Quest. You like something more like hidden, like a hidden gem like Chrono Trigger? It's inspired by Dragon Quest. You like Persona? Also inspired by Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
Everything takes its roots from this game. It is such a, like, such a pillar in like turn-based game design.
This is also the closest we ever got to Goku in Smash.
Well,
because it's Akira Toriyama's art style. It is also the closest we've gotten to Chrono in Smash.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. But here's the thing too.
I just forgot everything I was gonna say because I needed time to process what you just said.
Sorry.
But you're so right.
So here's the thing too for me. I like Dragon Quest. I realize that like if you've played one Dragon Quest game, you have played them all. And
maybe.
So like the story's similar enough.
Right.
Amongst them all. But because our experience with Dragon Quest, Steven had was it on the DS?
Yeah, he had Dragon Quest 9.
9, that was right.
And that one,
because that was the one.
Man, that game was cool.
That was the one where you got to customize like your own character and your own party.
Yeah,
which was super fun.
You get to build a party of just 4 characters that are completely of your own designing. And you get to, like, build them with, like, whatever classes you want, whatever stats you want. And just
I remember,
that level of customization was awesome.
I remember he went to, like, each member of the family, and everyone made a character that, like, he could switch into the party.
Yeah, each sibling got, like, a character in the party, and it was so cool.
Which was really fun. And especially one of the reasons I like Hero and his final Smash is it's the Giga Slash.
Yeah.
Which I made a basic fighter because that's what I do in RPGs. I like the basic fighter. And so like the fact that it was that, I was like, yes, it's that move. It was the best move when we played the game. But also because I think his name is 11. Because Dragon Quest 11 had come out, and so they used his design.
Is his name 11?
I think that's like he's whatever you choose to name him.
Okay, but is that like the default name or?
It's the unofficial name.
Okay.
Like it doesn't default to anything.
Oh, okay.
But
I was gonna say if that was the default name, that'd be ridiculous.
It's when people refer to that specific character design.
The fan given name.
Yeah, the fan given is 11, and so I went out and bought that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have it. I played through a little bit at the beginning. It's super fun. I love the crap out of it, but it's also a big, long JRPG that I don't have time to play.
Well, that's
and, like, other
that's
stuff is
impressive.
coming out.
I'd always wanted to try it, but I haven't even like bought it. So
maybe I'll probably pick it back up, or I'll probably loan it to you at some point.
Okay. That'd be fun.
But like,
not having
it's
to
really
spend money
fun.
on a really good game appeals
to
my taste.
Fun little side thing. One of my favorite things about the game is you can just, while running around the overworld, stop and just enter a photo mode and take pictures.
Good.
And you have like different little like poses you could do, and one of them is just 11 just pointing.
Oh, like in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's just him pointing forward. And so I started taking just all of these dumb pictures of him pointing at various objects.
That's good.
And what's great, because I somehow accidentally set it so that like all of my party would be doing the same pose. And so then like I got another ally and I'm pointing forward and he's pointing at me. Or like I got a picture of me just pointing at like a horse's butt. Or just like some priest in a temple, I'm just pointing at him. And I don't know why, but it is so funny, like taking all of these dumb pictures of this character.
I mean, that's funny to me, so
it's just a thing you can do in this game. But then like it's also this big sprawling JRPG, and I haven't even like gotten into the real like meat of the story.
Oh, of course.
Because I'm too busy derping around.
I will say, as an outsider looking in, I really like the design of 11, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Of that protagonist. I mean, the Trunks haircut is a little bit like, you couldn't
It's
have thought of it
Toriyama.
He only knows how to make 4 different hairstyles.
Yeah.
Or you get a bandana.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. I play as Bandana Kid because he's got the rat in his pocket.
It's a hamster.
Or yeah, that's what it is. It's a hamster.
But yeah, the thing for me about 11, I love the outfit and the combo of like the black and the purple is just, you know.
Yeah, it's really good.
One of those design things that really appeals to me. But like all of the designs are pretty great.
Yeah.
I like the one with the slime, what is it? The metal slime earrings.
Yeah, my wife I think actually has that game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so like it just Dragon Quest is neat. The characters are awesome. I will say the one thing before Hero got announced, I think it was Matthew Toronto from Brawl in the Family.
Yeah.
He pitched a character idea to have a slime be the Dragon Quest representative. And I would have loved that because like the slime is such an iconic part.
Yeah, definitely.
Of like it is the Goomba of the Dragon Quest like franchise. It's iconic, it's recognizable, it's amazing. But we still got the hero and I freaking love the hero.
Right. I guess shout out to anybody that wants to play a really, really weird game. Shout outs to Mario Sports Mix.
Yes!
Because that one just randomly, out of nowhere, had like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest elements like thrown into it. It's sports games, like
dude,
basketball, volleyball, dodgeball, and hockey.
Yeah.
So like
that game is so good.
It's just Mario Sports. Like there's no reason to have all this RPG stuff in there. But like you can play as the slime from Dragon Quest in that.
You can play as the slime. You can play as a Cactuar from Final Fantasy.
Cactuar.
That was my go-to character was Cactuar because like his stats are all trash except for his speed stat is like his speed is good.
Like they have like the little bar that like shows like how high your stats are. And then like there's like other fast characters whose like the bar is full. Cactuar's is like red and past the point of being full.
Yeah.
And he can just zip around. But that's Final Fantasy we're talking about.
No,
Dragon Quest,
I know. But like the slime was in that game too. And like I have the distinct memory of playing basketball and then him jumping in the air and like absorbing the ball and spitting it out.
Yep. That was a good game.
That was a really good game. Oh man. We need to get together and play that again.
Hero's fun. So many special moves.
Yeah, that was the thing too. Like, that's the thing too. Is once again, I know people complain about like reading the spell list, but legitimately, it's like the RPG style, the turn-based combat, like going through the menus.
You got the MP bar and the cost of moves and going through menus. And just the fact that you can do the top deck, like, just immediate down B, don't even look at what the spell is, just down B, B, and then use whatever is the first thing you get.
And the fact that Kamikaze is one of the spells you can use is the funny, like somebody top decking into Kamikaze is one of the funniest things.
I've done that in a match right at the very start of the match, just like the exact frame that I can start controlling the character, down BB, and it was Kamikaze. Did you ever see that video, How to Hero?
Yes, I think I was the one who sent it to you.
You might have been, but it was, oh my gosh, that one's funny. I think about that anytime I play Hero.
Full MP magic burst and how many times he would use that was the funniest thing.
Oh, definitely. Well, we got a really beefy one that we could talk about for a long time, so you want to get moving?
Yeah. Next up,
we got
The bear and the bird.
The most heartwarming return.
Dude. So, oh man, this was like, all right, what did you give him?
How could I not give Banjo and Kazooie a 5 out of 5?
5 out of 5, baby. Let's go.
This is another one of those ones that could almost be like a 6 out of 5.
Yeah.
on brand alone.
Here's the thing too, like, they were my never in a million years like pick. Like, I got Sonic, I got Inkling. I didn't know I needed Isabelle, and I got Isabelle. And so like Banjo and Kazooie like was like the character that I was like, I'd love for them to get in, but it's never gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then it did.
Yep. I really like Banjo and Kazooie had started going into like Geno levels of relevance.
Yeah.
And the only thing that kept them alive was the fact that they were the main characters of a really big game. And like the fact that that game was so big that even after Rare was bought out by Microsoft and Nuts and Bolts was kind of weird and then Banjo was never touched again. In spite of all of that, like, this really just shows, like, how great gaming has become, and, like, the good side of game development companies. This really was just a big achievement for Microsoft to be like, you know, we're not even worried about rights or whatever. Like, heck yes, you can put our character in your Nintendo game. And it was, like, the whole history of Banjo, like, getting his start on Nintendo, moving to Microsoft, and then just them treating him with so much love and care on bringing him back is... It's beautiful.
And now we can play his game on the Switch. Like, it's come full circle.
It's so
like,
wacky.
Man. But, like, legitimately, Banjo and Kazooie, like, I love Banjo Kazooie. It's one of those games that, like, their game is really tough.
Yep.
And it's not one that I'm, like, I can sit down and actually play through. But, like, them as characters have so much charm. And, like, it shows in their moveset and how good their models look. And just, like, the fact that they're back, the fact that these two made it back is so huge.
And I'd say, like, above all else, that trailer felt like a truly appropriate celebration for the return of this character.
Yeah. Oh, man. Easy 5 out of 5.
Yeah, definitely. So it's interesting. Because of the way that Banjo's moveset was made, he's technically, like, very, very low tier.
Yeah.
And so when I watch anything in terms of competitive stuff, people complain about Banjo a ton.
Yep.
So sometimes it's kind of hard to remember just how big a deal this is. But at the very least, even though, like, the actual moveset can be kind of weird, and he's, like, kind of slow and doesn't have a lot of combo moves, just the animations on all of his attacks were, like, so much care was put into those.
Oh, yeah.
So at the very least, that makes me smile.
They're so reminiscent of, like, the source material. Like, he plays like he did, but also, like, still, like, Smash Bros.
Yeah, they took a way to, like, take all of Banjo's moves and translate it into 2D. It doesn't quite feel like a Mega Man or, like, Simon level of, like, accuracy to the games. But just the fact that they took all the stuff from his game and made it work in Smash Bros. Because that was kind of the biggest thing about Banjo-Kazooie, was that, like, they really made use out of every button on the controller in order to, like,
they did.
give you, like, some sort of a move with every like every button, every combination of buttons, like
Yeah.
you just got a ton of different moves, and so the fact that most of those things are represented one way or another in his moveset it's really nice.
Yeah. Not to mention just like them as characters, I love their dynamic.
It's
Of how like Banjo is this like kind of lazy, doofy, but like just all around good-natured guy.
right. He's like really easygoing. He's super like friendly and positive.
Uh-huh.
And then you get Kazooie, who is the
The
complete opposite of him.
snarkiest, like, and the fact that like they're like a duo and just together. And like they're so I love those two together.
My favorite comic, there's this comic of Banjo. He's like, "Have you met my GF Kazooie?" And they're like, "Girlfriend?" And then he grabs her, gun friend.
Oh man.
Oh, I love that. Like Banjo Kazooie's sense of humor is unparalleled.
Oh,
It's one of the funniest video games because most of the jokes are either just like really like mean-spirited characters making fun of each other or like game design humor.
yup. Yup.
And that it's so funny. Like you get stuff, you see Mumbo and he's like, "Me Mumbo, best shaman in all of game."
Yeah. And once again, like Rare making game over screens.
Yep. That was another one where they really twisted the knife when you die.
Oh my goodness. It's so good. Like I freaking love oh my gosh, and Gruntilda as a
Gruntilda.
character. Gosh, she is just an entire topic unto herself.
Mm-hmm. I wish we could have had Grunty in some other form in Smash besides just like a background element.
Yeah. I kind of wish somebody pitched this idea of like the Smash taunt.
Oh, but it's like Grunty saying something about every fighter.
Like she says a rhyme insulting every fighter.
I would love this. Oh, and then there was the thing, like, Sephiroth was the one that she, like, didn't insult, and she was like, "He's a cutie." Like, are you single? But
Yeah, it's
oh, but those were great. I really wish they would have done that because like maybe the only thing that's not represented about Banjo in Smash is like the funny Banjo speak. How they have like the 3 sound bites that play randomly when they talk.
This is just the rest of the podcast.
Yeah. We should redo everything we said, but in Banjo speak.
Oh.
I love Banjo speak. Last thing I've got to say about Banjo is just Grant Kirkhope's music.
Yes.
This man was due. Like, there is not a more deserving composer to get a chance to have, like, Smash Bros. Music, like, composed. There's no human being on the planet more deserving than Grant to have, like, his music featured in a celebration of gaming. Because he is just one of the, like... And it's the 2 rare guys. It's Grant Kirkhope and David Wise. Those 2 are just, like, the masters of making great game music.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like the fact that his stuff is featured, there's beautiful arrangements of his songs, like a remix of, which one is it? It's the Treasure Trove Cove.
Treasure Trove Cove, yep.
Was done by Yoko Shimomura, who's like, what other honor is there? Like, the biggest honor would be like Nobuo Uematsu or whatever his name is, like. But then I think, like, next to him, like, Yoko Shimomura is, like, the best.
Yep.
And so just having Grant's music done by her is just like, oh, this is nuts.
Yeah, the arrangements and the choices of music were so good.
Mhm.
They were so good.
The Mad Monster Mansion.
Oh, it's so good.
I love that one. I love that. I love Banjo.
I love Banjo too.
He's a good boy.
Or should I say Banjo Tooie?
Banjo nuts and bolts. Oh.
Oh.
Also, can we talk about Sakurai's, like, yes, Banjo-Kazooie, you can play it now on Xbox. Xbox Series X, and he's, like, doing an Xbox ad. He's like, yeah, this is Nintendo, but we're gonna advertise Xbox for a little bit.
Yeah.
That was really amusing.
That was funny.
Alright. But I think I've said my piece about Banjo.
Same. I love these two, and like they were at this point. I was like, I don't think there's anyone they can add that like I'm like, please add this character.
Yeah.
Like he was like the last on my list. I was just like, okay, I have everything I want.
Yeah. At the time, it seemed like the most impossible character pick that actually was made a reality. It turned out to be like there's more insane stuff coming ahead, but
there is some.
But this was just such an achievement.
Yep. All right. So up next.
Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna get the invitation to Smash?
That trailer was so good.
That was a great trailer. So tell me, dude, are you okay?
Buster Wolf.
That's the right response. What'd you give Terry?
I gave him a 5.
That's pretty good. I wish I could as well. I gave him a 4.
That's fine. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Terry was yet another character that, like, so when Terry got announced, I was like, okay, who is this?
Who dis?
Like, and like, that's kind of like the general consensus of a lot of people are like, wait, Neo Geo, what?
It was so funny.
And then
so many people were like, who is this? And then all the old school fighting game fans were like, whoa!
Oh! Fatal Fury! And like, that was the thing, was like, I didn't know who he was, and then we got the Sans Me costume, and I was like, okay, hold up.
This takes priority.
This can't happen right now. But then, like, I started playing as him, and like, I fell in love with his playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I had no idea who Terry was, but I was like, dude, no, I am absolutely gonna play the heck out of Terry. Like, he's so much fun. It's his sound effects of like his attacks just have this really satisfying crunch to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially it's his final smash. Like, is so satisfying, and it's his weird like English.
Yep.
It's just like, it's really fun.
Yeah,
the big one, Buster Wolf.
He's a really charming character. One of the smallest anecdotes that is like one of my favorite things about Terry is the fact that the voice actress for Kirby is a huge fan of Fatal Fury.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like Terry. And so she's like, the fact that I got to voice act Kirby using one of Terry's moves just made my universe.
Uh-huh. Terry's go meter is really fun. Mostly because like I'm not great at like the inputs, but Terry's inputs I kind of figured out. Like I know how to do his Buster Wolf input, which is one of the most satisfying things to do.
Yep.
Like, it's so much fun to land a Buster Wolf.
Right. I don't play as Terry very much, so I usually associate like him with somebody who's good as Terry beating me.
It's not hard. You just jab power dunk.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now I can do it.
Yeah. That's the brain dead Terry combo. But like legitimately he's just a fun character to play as. I love his Neo Geo alt.
Yeah.
Just because of like how 90s it is. Like
Uh-huh.
just that the red, white, and blue, like in those tints, the acid wash jeans, like like it screams like that 90s aesthetic, and I love it.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I like his default like skin the most for the reason that it just reminds me of Red from Pokemon, but he's jacked.
Puberty hit Red like a truck.
Be careful who you make fun of in high school. Oh man. And above all, Terry is Mr. 50 songs.
Yeah, that was
That was my favorite thing about Terry's inclusion, was just like, here's everything that's ever been on a Neo Geo.
not to mention Sakurai. Like it was so funny because in the Banjo presentation, it's like so like Banjo's a bear, and I think Kazooie's called a Breagle. and then we get to Terry. He's like, "All right, son, sit down. I'm about to learn you some Fatal Fury." I used to go to tournaments back in the day and flex on people.
Yep, he's like, I have this other side character who is my most favorite character, but for brand recognition reasons, we use Terry in Smash.
Yeah, and it's just
So it's so funny how much of like a fighting game fanboy Sakurai is.
he is, and it's great. I love it.
And with that 50 like music tracks
50
they got,
songs.
which like is crazy in and of itself, but the ones that especially got me was the Metal Slug music.
Yup.
The fact that we got a Metal Slug medley is the coolest thing in my opinion.
So I'll admit I haven't really listened much to all of Terry's music.
There's 50 tracks. Who's got the time?
50 tracks. I just
But there's some good
do-
ones. What's the there's the Psycho Soldier. That one is like a really campy, like old, like Japanese, like Super Sentai type thing. It's like a vocal theme. And then they did like an English version of it as well. Which I always appreciate when they do those.
Oh man. I freaking yeah. Like Terry, much like Isabelle, just caught me off guard. And was just I was sucker punched by how much I liked him. Like, because you know, every time a new character would come out, I'd use them to do the spirit board, like the special spirit board for them. And then just playing him, I was like, dude, Terry's fun.
Yeah, it's whenever there's like an old school fighting game character that gets put into Smash, like I always know it's going to be a good time because Sakurai always gets them so right.
Yep.
And so just
and his stage,
the moment that I saw it was, you know, a classic fighting game character, I was just like, this guy's gonna be like super cool.
Dude, like his stage is so much fun. How it's got like the walls that like you break through the like. I don't know why. Like his stage is so much fun to play on.
Yeah, it really is.
And then if you're like, oh, I just want classic Smash Bros, like Omega and Battlefield.
Yeah,
like no big deal. But like his stage is fun
for sure. Up next,
perhaps the most controversial character in the roster.
Possibly so. Yes, I can't imagine anybody would stir up opinions more easily than this fighter.
Yeah, I think part of it too was because like we had this like crazy dream team list of characters join the battle. Like we had Joker, Dragon Quest, Banjo and Kazooie, and then Terry. And then this is our
here's another main character of Fire Emblem.
Yeah. BYLETH.
But don't you want to know how he's going to escape the fires of Zaharat? Isn't that trailer so freaking exciting?
I think also, like, the reveal was kind of underwhelming. Just in the sense of, like, they're just there.
So here's the thing. I have a discourse ready about that trailer.
Yeah. I figure.
But
well,
first,
okay.
let's just talk the numbers. What'd you give BYLETH?
Okay, so BYLETH is a 1 for now.
For now.
There's an asterisk next to that, and the big reason for that is much like Corrin. When Corrin was announced, I had no opinions toward because the game hadn't come out in America yet.
Mm-hmm. It was a Japan only game at the time.
Yeah, I still have yet to play Three Houses.
Yeah,
and so the only thing I have to go off of Three Houses is Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of sick of Three Houses being in Fire Emblem Heroes.
Definitely. Now, to be fair, my opinion of Corrin worsened after playing their game. But
fair.
I think this will be a different case. But I think that 1 out of 5, as big a fan as I am of Three Houses, I think your 1 out of 5 is completely justified.
Yeah. And the only reason is because like I have no attachment to the character.
Yeah.
And like I said, totally. I'm still glad they're in. My friends popped off hard. Steven popped off hard.
Steven was the one that popped off the hardest.
Because he's like, give me an entire Smash Bros. Fire Emblem game.
Give me just a Fire Emblem fighting game. No Mario, no Pokemon, no anything else, just Fire Emblem.
And so, like, I was happy for him, because he was like, yes, give me more Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you know, I'm happy for other people. I'm indifferent towards BYLETH. I don't hate them.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, I'm not thrilled about them either.
There's just no attachment to the character.
Yeah.
So are you ready to hear about why BYLETH is a 4 out of 5? In my opinion, a better character than Marth. That is, if you only like Smash Bros. And know nothing about Fire Emblem, that sounds like the spiciest take in the world.
Man, that does.
Even if you do know about Fire Emblem, that's still a pretty spicy take.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, in my opinion, BYLETH is great. Like, yes, you heard me say that right. BYLETH is great, and, you know, dare I say, hoes mad.
Oh, that meme. This is what started it.
Right. This is a character that's still, like... This is not a character that people are like, oh, this is lame, and then forgot about. Like, people are always talking about BYLETH, even still today.
I know. Back when the dislike bar was still a thing.
Right. So I will approach... Here's my approach on talking about BYLETH. Like, this character was in Smash. Like, they were announced for Smash. This was the character that was announced right as I got back home from Ecuador.
Yeah,
so
I think
this was
like
my
first couple days.
This was like a day or two before. So this was my experience with a new fighter coming to Smash. And at the time, I had not played Three Houses. So I was just like, okay, it's another Fire Emblem character. They don't only use swords, so that's pretty cool. But, like, why should I care? And then I played Three Houses. And that, like... It's hard to say this, because, like, you heard us talk about Ike and how great Path of Radiance is. And you heard us talk about Fire Emblem Awakening and, like, Robin and everything. But, like, honestly, genuinely, Three Houses is my favorite Fire Emblem game.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever heard you say that, so that's...
And it's hard to say that, because Path of Radiance and Awakening are both outstanding games in their own right. But I really love Three Houses. They went above and beyond, and especially the fact that it, like, followed up Fates, when it seemed like Fire Emblem was doomed to just be...
I mean,
a waifu
technically,
collector.
technically it followed up the remake of
Echoes. But I mean, in terms of just
Echoes.
like numbered Fire Emblem releases. But like, Three Houses is so good. Especially its characters and its storytelling. Like, I will not say that it's perfect by any means, obviously. Like, it's got its plot holes and its funny little story details and whatever. But, like, it is such a good game. And it improves so much on the formula of Fire Emblem gameplay. And with the trailer, that animated trailer we got for the BYLETH reveal, I just want to say I completely understand why it made people mad. It was very long. Like, it overstayed its welcome, I think, with, like, how long it was. And the specific thing about the trailer that is interesting to me is that a lot of that time that it just killed, with just, like, dialogue, was specifically a lot of jokes making fun of people that don't like Fire Emblem characters in Smash. And the funniest thing that I've seen from like reaction videos and stuff, nobody got those jokes. They weren't even paying attention to the dialogue. They were just like, oh, it's another Fire Emblem character or whatever.
They already ripped off their headphones and walked away.
They're already like, oh, it's a blue-haired Fire Emblem character who fights with a sword. This is stupid. They throw so much shade in those trailers, which, again, as somebody who likes Fire Emblem unapologetically, that's funny to me.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And it's just weird to me. Nobody like saw that and they were like, screw you, Sakurai, like throwing out insults. Nobody just even paid attention. And so they didn't even realize that this long trailer they were sitting through was just insulting them. But I will say, like, just sitting down and watching that and having no clue what Three Houses is, it's a really boring trailer.
Yeah.
After you've played Three Houses, the spin they put on, like, that scene and where that happens in the game, that trailer is so funny. Like, it cracks me up so much. And it's really just one of those things, you won't get it unless you played Three Houses.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, it cracks me up. As far as talking about BYLETH as an actual character, I think the moveset is fine. I don't think BYLETH is the most fun to play as.
I do like the idea of how, like, the weapon is based on the direction.
Yeah.
I thought that was, like, a really interesting concept.
Yeah, it was a cool way to do it, and also a cool way to represent the three different houses by giving you the weapons of each of the characters. I felt like that was a good way to represent everything that's there for the character. And as much as, like, I'm not thrilled about the BYLETH moveset, it's not Chrom.
I mean, yeah.
I really have a bone to pick with Chrom, because it was an unnecessary fourth variant of the Marth moveset.
Yeah. No, that's very fair.
And like, I guess the biggest thing for me that BYLETH adds, even more than BYLETH as a character, I love the stage. I absolutely love the stage. Because, like, having played through Three Houses, the monastery is just... It's my home away from home. Like, I spent so much time playing that game and running up and down those halls and chatting with everybody and going to the dining hall and getting food and, you know, going out to train with people and have support conversations. Like, a piece of my heart belongs at Garrigmach Monastery, and so the fact that it's a stage is really cool. And y'all don't even know, some of the best music that the Fire Emblem series has ever had is included with this stage. And those fight themes, like, just the remix they have of Edge of Dawn, the main theme, like, that guitar goes hard. It goes so hard.
Is it? I can't remember if it's in the one that I always heard everyone talking about is God Shattering Star.
That one is not in, and people were
That
pissed
was-
about that.
That was the one that I remember people saying that name and then getting upset about
so
it.
the thing about it, they put in the what is it? So Blue Lions and Black Eagles, both routes share the same final boss theme, and that one got put in Smash. God Shattering Star is the final boss theme of the Golden Deer route.
Ooh, okay.
And it's just a unique final boss theme to that route. And that is like the undisputed fan favorite song from the game soundtrack. And they didn't put it in. So like, yeah, people were mad about that.
Understandable.
Likewise, a ton of my favorite songs from the game were not put in. And it's like, oh, but these are so good. Why can't you just 50 songs just like Terry? Yeah, but that's just me going off. Like, I get it. A lot of people have some really spicy opinions about BYLETH, especially because it's paid DLC, meaning like you have to go above and beyond to get these characters. And it's one that people are not mostly thrilled about. They could have done something like they did with Roy or Corrin, where like they used this character as an advertising character right when the game launched. Like, they could have just put BYLETH there with Incineroar.
Yeah.
And people would have just been like, alright, another Fire Emblem character, whatever. But it's the fact that it's a DLC character, the fact that the trailer is really long, and the fact that
this was the end of the fighter pass. At least at the point, at that point, we thought this was our last character.
No, nobody even knew if there was going to be more after this, and so just to end on Fire Emblem, it's kind of like, really?
Well, and then not only that, but Nintendo also announced, "Hey, there's a DLC coming out for Three Houses," and so everyone's like, "This is just an advertisement."
It's just an ad. Yeah, I like a lot of the circumstances regarding BYLETH's inclusion in Smash was very frustrating, and I completely accept that and understand why people would be mad. But I feel like this is sort of like attacking the messenger. Here, because like I personally feel that BYLETH is a welcome addition to Smash, and like if they're omitting characters from the roster in the next game, I don't think BYLETH should be one of them. I think like, and this is a bold opinion, but I think even sooner they should get rid of like Roy or Lucina or Chrom before BYLETH, just because BYLETH actually brings something new to the table.
Yeah.
I know that BYLETH is not the most fan favorite of characters, but I'm just saying, like, it's all about what they bring to the table in Smash, and I think...
Oh, that's fair.
I think people overlook how much BYLETH brings.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I gave BYLETH a 1 with an asterisk next to it as for now. Because I'm sure once I eventually get around to sitting down and actually playing Three Houses, I will probably like BYLETH a lot.
Right. It's even possible that we would do that for Tradin Faves.
Yeah.
I think I've got a ton more games and they're all like a lot shorter.
Yeah.
So like
and I have some long games I want to recommend, and so it's sort of those
so I
like,
think you'd be a good ways down the road, but if you don't get to it like before, you know, we've cleared through a lot of my recommendations, we may just talk about Three Houses on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. We're always trying to keep these brief, but like I really had some
No, and this is one of the like the hottest, like everyone has an opinion about this character.
You know what's funny though about BYLETH that keeps the controversy going? BYLETH's been seeing a ton of tournament use. So it's not like people can just ignore this character. Oh man.
Oh boy.
But alright, let's get a move on.
Yep, to the next, our second fighter pass.
This is the start. And the cool thing about this one is that right off the bat, they were like, hey, we're doing another fighter's pass. The first character in the pass will be from ARMS.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that they did that, because then we knew how to temper our expectations, but also be like excited and question like, oh, who could it be?
Who could it be? Now, I actually, like, because I'll admit, when I heard ARMS, I was a little disappointed. I think because ARMS is one of those games that Nintendo really wanted to be like what Splatoon was for the Wii.
Yep. It was basically like as Splatoon is to competitive shooters, they wanted ARMS to be that for fighting games.
Yeah.
And
like, the thing is ARMS is a really fun game, but it's not like a $60 fun game.
It's not meeting a $60 fun game. I know exactly what you mean by that.
like it's fun, and like I wish it got a little more attention than it did, because like the strategy to it is really fun, and like I love boxing. Like, you heard me go off about how much I love Punch-Out.
Yeah.
And like, not only that, ARMS has some wonderful characters with a lot of personality. Like, I know Springman gets a lot of crap for being the character on the box art, but like, he's actually a very entertaining character.
Yeah, I'd say just from the reveal trailer alone.
Like, he's really funny. But anyway, like, the thing about this one was the fact that Springman was an assist trophy.
Yeah. This had people wondering.
The storm that this caused, because they're like, well, he's the dude on the box art, but he's an assist trophy. So what does that mean? And then like, then it led into like, okay, well, Ribbon Girl's the other one on the box art, like kind of the other main character, but like
just like the girl version of the main character kind of trope.
You know, and then like I watched so many videos trying to break it down with like, okay, here are the popular here are the popular characters.
Yep. And
the thing was, for me, Min Min was my favorite character of the ARMS roster.
Min Min was my second favorite.
I know. I'm so sorry, dude.
So I wasn't mad about this character pick, but if it could have been Ninjara.
Yeah. Well, and so okay, before we go on, what did you give Min Min?
So yet again, middle of the road, 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. I actually gave Min Min a 5.
I respect it.
Like, and so here's the thing about Min Min. Like, I love her design. I love her as a character. Not only that, there was a popularity contest and she won. Or it was like an actual like tournament and she won. And my favorite thing is how like the developers of ARMS said like, no, like the main character is whoever you want to be the main character. And so like Min Min is who we picked to be the main character.
Well, not even the main character, but like the character to represent ARMS.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that works the best about Min Min as being the ARMS rep is that she's got a lot going on, like in terms of her style and her personality as a character.
Yes.
But she doesn't have anything that is like so out there compared to the rest of the cast. Because, like, what's the other one? Twintel is extremely popular ARMS character. But the fact that she fights with her hair instead of just boxing gloves. Ninjara, the fact that he's all, like, weird and ninja-like. Or Mechanica has a big freaking mech or whatever. Like, all of them do all this weird stuff. Whereas
Bark
Min Min,
and Bite have, like, the puppet, like, the 2-in-1 character thing.
Yeah. Whereas with Min Min, like, she's, you know, noodle restaurant themed, but she still just punches with arms.
She's still, like, basic enough. That, like, she represents the brand well.
Yeah. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
Also, one of the best character trailers.
Yes.
Captain Falcon slurping the noodles.
How come, like, whenever there's character reveals, Captain Falcon sneaks his way into a trailer where he doesn't belong, and he's the best character?
Yes.
It's so funny.
Because I also remember when that trailer went live, I found a screenshot of Captain Falcon with the bowl of ramen, and I was like, hey, I need you to edit something for me. I need you to put, like, remove Kirby and put a second Captain Falcon there.
I did that. And then
Or
later...
No,
then
because
that was the thing. You had me do that edit where it was just 2 Captain Falcons eating noodles. And then later I went back and made it just 3 Captain Falcons. The one like
Captain
at
Falcon
the restaurant
in the background, and then 2
and then 2 Captain Falcons eating.
That was one of the funniest things.
I know this is a podcast, but I may just put the image on screen for this for those that are watching as a YouTube video.
Man. But like,
if I remember, funny. If not, then I'll post it on Twitter or something. But
and like, so the thing about Min Min in Smash Bros, I love and hate the way she plays. Like, it is the weirdest thing. Like, once again, Sakurai absolutely nails converting their gameplay style into Smash Bros. But it also hurts my brain because their special moves are just punching people.
It's just like different types of A moves.
like it just feels like more smash attacks.
Well, that's what it is. It's all smash attacks in a character,
and it's so weird. Like, it hurts my brain to play her, but I love her. You
can use smash attacks in the air.
Yup.
Take that, Raster from Rivals of Aether.
It's so weird, but I love her. And like I said, she was the one that I wanted to get in.
Yeah, the moveset's really cool, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And like the dragon, and it shoots the lasers, like, it's cool.
The fact that you get like the flip kicks that reflect projectiles.
Yup.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Min Min was a fun addition. Not one that like personally spoke to me, but it was just a great way to start off the Fighter's Pass.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. Oh man, I just looked at who's next.
Yay! Steve!
Steve! Oh my goodness. This... You know what, though? Like, Sonic getting the ability to punch people into Minecraft is great. If for nothing else, that it just made Sonic more relevant.
To Sonic looking around and being like, it's your turn to go to Minecraft.
Well, starting up, okay, what did you give this block squadron?
So to explain myself, Steve, I give a 2. Enderman, I give a 5. Steve and company, all of them, I round it down to a 4.
Round it down to a 4. Okay.
Generally, it's a 4, but I love that I can play as Enderman.
Yeah, I play as... It's the second costume for Alex.
Oh, like isn't it like a tennis outfit or
no, it's not the tennis outfit.
No, the tennis outfit is Steve.
Yeah. It's like the blonde-haired girl with like the hood.
Yeah, that's it.
So I gave him a 1.
Wait a minute, a blonde-haired Minecraft girl with a hood? Are you talking about youtube.com/Avon? The Minecraft YouTuber? Shoutouts to her.
Yeah, shout out to my wife.
Sorry, I had to make that joke. Anyway, continue.
That's very funny. The thing too is, like, I don't care for Minecraft, and like at this point, like I said, I got everything that I wanted.
Yeah.
I got Min Min when, like, I was just like, oh, like, I don't want an arms rep, but if I have to get one, I want Min Min.
Exactly.
So, like, you know, like, we got Steve, and I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, sure. But then, like, I do love that we got Alex and the zombie and the Enderman.
Yep.
Like, You know, and I'll say this, like the song in that trailer, that piano goes so hard, and it's so good.
In general, the music they picked for the Minecraft stage, surprisingly awesome.
I know. Well, especially because, like, actual Minecraft doesn't have any music.
I mean, it has very simple, like,
Yeah.
calm piano tunes. It's almost like Breath of the Wild in a sense.
A little bit.
Like, really chill, like, purposely minimalistic piano.
What was the most fun about this was I watched this trailer live with my wife.
Yo.
And she plays Minecraft, so like the moment she heard the sound effect, she was like, "Oh my goodness, I know what it is."
Do
Like,
do you want to hear something funny about my reaction to the trailer?
Yeah.
There was honestly a second. I was so like Mario gets knocked into this room. I didn't pay enough attention to realize like with the blocks that it was Minecraft.
Yeah.
But Mario's there just alone in a dark room. And then something else had like caught my eye, and I only noticed like the flashing eyes through my peripherals. So I kid you not, for a second I thought it was Freddy Fazbear. And I like there was the dark room, and I was looking away, and there was a flash in the dark, and I was like, "Was that freaking Freddy Fazbear?" And then like Steve just like pops down like the blocks, and I was like, "Oh, it's just Minecraft." Okay.
Oh, it's just Steve Minecraft.
That's the thing. Like Steve was the ultimate meme. Like,
yeah,
Minecraft is a meme, but like, it's the most like financially successful video game in the world.
Yeah.
So like, it makes sense. Something like Five Nights at Freddy's is just, it's too much for Smash.
It's a fad.
It's like, I don't know, even like a Mii costume, I could see something like that, but a full-on fighter, like, not in your wildest dreams.
No, not even close.
But I did think that for a second, so.
Yeah. But, like, I do like Steve's, like, and part of the other reason why I ranked them so low is I don't like playing as them.
I forget, what did you rate?
I gave him a 1.
Oh, a 1 as well, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
But, like, I do think that their moveset is interesting. Like, I love what's, like, Sakurai put them in this game to flex how freaking creative and amazing he and his team are.
Yeah. The biggest thing about Steve and company that really was exciting for me was just how much of a technical feat it was. Like, him saying, like, we had to go in and adjust every single stage in the game to make, like, this moveset work. And that is, like, that is so insanely commendable.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is a big freaking deal. Minecraft is such a huge game, and so the fact that they put a Minecraft level of respect into making this.
Yeah.
Like, and part of me wonders, like, Steve might have been a part of the base roster, but because of the technicality of designing the character, this is the reason why he's, you know, one of the last characters on Fighter Pass 2. Well, one of the first characters, but on Fighter Pass 2. Like,
yeah.
Like, they may have just planned this so far in advance, but it took them that long to develop the character.
No kidding. It's just, it's crazy, dude. Mm-hmm. And, like, I like how they've incorporated it, like, putting down the blocks, and building things, and, like, your ability to, like, grab materials and utilize those materials and stuff. Like, it's really cool. The fact that, like, redstone comes into play and affects your moveset, and, like, your ability, like, if you have iron, you can use certain moves.
There's even some funny stuff about, like, the way you angle the control stick. Like, if you hold up but then kind of angle it, like, Steve will actually move his head in the direction of the control stick. Like, you're in a first person, like, the mouse is controlling where you look.
Yep.
There is so much attention to detail on this character. It's It's crazy because they're just blocks. Like, so everything that can be expressed about this character has to be done through body language only. And they managed to do that perfectly. You have a taunt that's like the teabag, basically.
The teabag, that's right.
There's the meat.
The meat.
The boom house final smash.
The boom house is so... It's like that bit in the trailer where Mario's just sitting there and then Steve just like pulls out the meat and just starts eating it.
Yep. I think the main thing about the Minecraft characters being added to Smash, this is probably the highest praise that I can give a game series, but basically because it was in Smash, it got me to try Minecraft for the first time.
Oh.
I had never played it, and then Steve got added to Smash, and I started thinking like, I want to give Minecraft a go. And so I did. I played some Minecraft with friends. I had a fun time making an alt for my character and just trying to figure out the world.
Yeah, that's one my wife wants me to play with her, and I'm like, one of these days we'll actually sit down and we'll play it together. But like I've yet to play Minecraft.
I will say, like, for you and me especially, who are not used to like first person games with mouse and keyboard controls, there is a bit of a learning curve, and especially like you having to remember every like combination of how to craft things or whatever. Like, it takes a lot of learning before it's actually fun to play. But then once you do, then it's fun. But I definitely haven't invested a lot of time in Minecraft. I just tried it one night with friends. But it is a fun game. I really respect the creativity of all the YouTubers out there who have done this. Like, I know it's so easy to just think of Minecraft as like the thing that like annoying young kids are into, but like, I don't know, man. There's a reason that games get popular. I genuinely believe that Minecraft deserves all of the praises that it has.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like tailored to my tastes in video games, but it's an achievement in the games industry, darn it. And so I gotta respect it for that.
Oh yeah. Well, and part of the thing too is because, again, I watch my wife play all the time, and she builds phenomenal things.
Yeah, that's what I love watching her YouTube videos. Like, I know we were kind of just joking about the plug, but like, I'm serious. She makes really entertaining Minecraft videos.
Oh yeah. Like, really fun, like big castles and fascinating things. And the thing is, for me, I don't have the mindset for that. Like,
yeah,
I like character and narrative, and like Minecraft, it's kind of whatever you choose to make it.
Yeah.
And so like
with that, I'm kind of like Sakurai, because I remember he said this in the direct and I felt the same way. He's like, a lot of people are really creative and make these big structures. But for me, I like survival mode and just trying to like endure the storm and not get killed.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way. I like that because then it's not just like do whatever you want sandbox. It's like there's a challenge being issued to you. Like, how far can you make it? Can you slay the dragon on just one life? And there is something really cool about that.
Yeah, definitely. And so it's one of those, like I keep saying, a 1 does not mean I want them off the roster. Like,
yeah,
no, by all means.
I'm kind of surprised you have so many 1s to hand out.
Like, I know. It's weird though, like, because they're lower on my list.
Right. I'm sure. Have I done any 1s besides Crom? I genuinely can't remember. I feel like he's the only one so far. But
that's why it was so shocking that it was him.
I
know. Well, we do have more fighters to discuss.
Yep. There's some 1s on the way. No, I'm just kidding. Next we got one that really I was not expecting in a million years. It makes perfect sense when you see it in Smash. but I was not prepared for Sephiroth.
Sephiroth. Oh my goodness.
This was almost like, barring maybe Piranha Plant, I would say Sephiroth was like the character I least expected to ever get into Smash.
Yeah. So what did you give Sephiroth?
How could I do any less than a 5 out of 5?
Like this, I gave him a 4.
Okay, well that's fair. You have a lot of 5 out of 5 characters that I
No,
gave a
I know,
4.
I know. And
It's about
I
time.
still I like Sephiroth. Yeah, the thing for me was like Sephiroth very much felt like the death of my hope for any Chrono Trigger rep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or any other like Square Enix character, like
yeah.
but like he's also got so much presence that like I can't hate him.
I know.
The only thing about him that bothers me is that he and Cloud are the only characters in the roster that are Japanese only.
I know.
And like we just got the remake, and so like they all have like English voices.
We have current English voice actors, but they just, they give us the
Square
Japan only.
Being stingy.
I know.
And I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's the one too. What is it? So the old English voice of Cloud, Steve Burton, and I forget the guy. He voiced Superman. What's this voice actor's name? The Sephiroth voice actor that's in like Advent Children and Kingdom Hearts and all that.
Yeah.
Like I love those two and their voices. Like it's legitimately one of those things. I think that once the Switch is like not Nintendo's current console, I think I am gonna mod Smash Bros and like get the voice clips of the English voice actors, because like that is part of the appeal of the characters.
Yeah.
For me.
One of my favorite things, somebody took the trailer because like it's almost shot for shot the same as Advent Children.
Oh yeah, there's so many like Advent Children references.
Yeah, and so because it's like shot for shot and almost line for line the same, people have just taken the audio from the dub of Advent Children and just put it over the trailer, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
it's so
oh my
good.
gosh,
That trailer,
Mario.
This is like I'm gonna come out and freaking say it. I think Sephiroth is the best DLC character that we got, and that's a bold claim because we got Banjo. Like
we got Banjo.
I understand, and so like Banjo is like the one that really, really comes close for me. But and I know the last one we got was also a big deal. But for me personally, Sephiroth was the character that I didn't know I needed in Smash. But
that's very fair.
That amazing trailer, just the Advent Children music. The fact that like now we get Final Fantasy VII music in Smash, like,
yup, really good Final Fantasy VII music too. Like, not that the two songs we got before weren't, but like,
it felt like Final Fantasy VII got the short end of the stick compared to everything else that was repped in Smash. Like, and you can be like, oh, Game & Watch also only has 2 songs, but it's freaking Game & Watch. Like, there's no music to begin with. Like, this is freaking Final Fantasy VII, one of the most critically acclaimed RPGs in the world. Like, it deserves a little more respect than just a stage that's battlefield with gimmicks and 2 songs. Like, Sephiroth really added in all this stuff, and there was, like, Mii costumes with it. Like, it felt like, okay, finally this game gets the respect it deserves. And with it, just an amazing moveset on Sephiroth. I think I know what you're gonna say next about Final Fantasy and Smash, but...
Well, okay, no, I just also wanted to highlight the shot in that trailer of Sonic, Inkling, and Banjo and Kazooie all there together.
Yeah.
Like, Sakurai made that shot for me. I don't care who you are, like, who you think you are. That shot was made specifically for me.
Much like the Pikachu and Sonic thing in World of Light, and how I felt that was for me. Like, I saw that shot and I'm like, those are David's characters.
Yeah, like, I saw that and I was like, I don't care. I got everything I wanted in Smash Bros.
It also feels like we got a ton of characters, like, shown in those sequences that did not get their own animated trailers. Which was really cool.
Yeah. And then, just... I think my favorite thing that I ever saw when Sephiroth got announced was... There was a comic, and it was like, oh great, another anime swordsman. And he says, no, I am the anime swordsman.
He really is.
And I was like, yeah. Yeah,
like, all of the tropes come from him. There's so much attention to detail in the trailer as well. Like, they recreate a lot of scenes.
Yeah.
Like the part in Final Fantasy VII where Sephiroth stabs down into the ground and nearly hits Aerith, but he doesn't. If you haven't played Final Fantasy VII, go play it. It's great. There's a reason why a lot of people talk about that near miss. I love that.
Yeah. Well, but, like, also, shot for shot, things being the same, like... That the bit it's in the extended version of Advent Children where, like, he stabs Cloud and, like, lifts him up on his sword, and then it's Mario. But then he, like, hooks him under his overalls.
It's so good.
That shot was amazing.
And then it ends with, like, the "Stay where you belong in my memories. I will never be a memory."
Yeah. Dude, that was the other thing, too, was I went back and I rewatched Advent Children after that.
I still need to. It's been a while since I've seen it.
So, one of the things that I learned is that the version that we own is the original version.
Right, there was, like, a director's cut one that makes it
the director's cut version is better.
Yeah.
Yep. I can definitely say that. But, like... Advent Children has one of the dumbest stories, but some of the most amazing action sequences ever.
Yup.
The fact that Cloud still has a flip phone, like, shows you how old that movie is.
It was new for the time.
It was cutting edge technology. That and the fact that Liam O'Brien is Red 13, and he has one line of dialogue at the very end of the movie.
Everybody there, like, there's, like, funny voice actors that you're like, oh, it's this person.
But yeah.
You know what I really like the most about Sephiroth, and as much as I wish they did this for other fighters, it felt extremely appropriate as just a Sephiroth thing. Sephiroth's challenge.
Yes!
Because they're like, here's the thing about Sephiroth. He is a boss character.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even in games where he doesn't belong, he shows up and he's, like, a secret boss that's really challenging. We want to give players that experience, too. So if you can beat him before this date, then you get the character early.
Yup.
Like, that is so cool to me.
I still have the screenshot saved on my Switch of me beating him in, like, a ridiculously fast time because I cheesed him with Sonic.
Yep. There's the guy who got, like, the world record, fastest time, and then they deleted the challenge, so he just permanently gets to hold that record.
Like, that's dope.
That's so cool.
But yeah, like, that, the fact that they did that was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, like... Also the fact that, like, his classic mode is a boss rush.
Yeah! They should have just had boss rush be a mode, though.
I know! I wanted
But
it
I
so
will forgive
bad.
them for that, because at the very least, Sephiroth is a fun character to play as, and he gets boss rush. So, like,
Yep.
like, all is still not forgiven. I would have rather had a boss rush mode that I could do with anybody. Not counting the way they did World of Light.
Yeah.
But, at the very least, it's a lot of fun.
It is.
And it really just shows off Sephiroth's, like, I am more legendary and important and powerful than any of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Like, everyone else is fighting amongst fighters, and he's like, I'm gonna make, like, I'm gonna make, pancakes out of the bosses. Not the regular fighters, but the bosses.
The fact that the trailer starts with Galeem.
Yeah, because you think it's
and-
gonna be a World of Light thing.
Yeah. And then he just, like, one-shots it.
He just slashes it in half. It's too good.
It's so good.
It's so, like, especially for me, like, not being, you know, intensely invested in Final Fantasy, but, like, loving the heck out of Kingdom Hearts as a kid, and having both of the super bosses against Sephiroth in that, and then seeing that make its way into Smash Bros. Is just so, like, oh, this is good. This is really good. I love Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't have anything else to say about Sephiroth, let's move on to our next two fighters.
Ooh, can you smell it? There's some hot takes cooking.
Yeah.
This is the one. Okay, so, oh no, Pyra's gone missing. Oh, I'm so sad. Where did she go? Is this DLC? Yes, but not for Xenoblade. It's Smash Bros. Ha I couldn't tell you. Oh wait, no, that's Pyra. She's like, I couldn't tell you because I got invited to join Smash. Kawaii. Oh, but my alternate self is here too. MYTHRA. Wow. It's Pyra and MYTHRA.
I'm guessing this is not going to be a very high number for you.
So we'll start with Pyra. And I just want to say, before I say what the number is, keep in mind, internet, I'm not going to say that your anger at me is unjustified. In fact, before you write your angry comment, remember that I gave BYLETH a 4. And now let that anger channel through. I give Pyra a 1. A 1.
Yep.
And we're gonna have a fun time talking about why, but
okay.
Would you like to
tell
me what you gave Pyra?
So I lumped Pyra and MYTHRA's score together.
Okay, so they both have because they have different scores for me.
Okay. So Pyra and MYTHRA, design and character-wise, are a 1.
Yeah.
However, playstyle, they're a 4. And I'll talk about that.
Yeah, of course.
A little bit. Like, I was ready to just be, like, very upset that these characters were in Smash. And, like...
Yeah.
Like, once again, there were people who were happy, and I just was like, you know what? I have been blessed so much with this game. I can take one loss and have these characters in. I'm fine. But then I played as them, and I'm like, why are these movesets so fun? It's like playing as Sheik with a sword.
Yep.
And then being like, all right, I want a kill move now, and then suddenly I'm playing as Ganondorf. Like, I don't know why, but just the ability to just jump between the two is really fun.
Yep. Speaking of that, somebody made a mod where you can do the switch thing with Captain Falcon and Ganondorf. And it's awesome.
That's amazing.
It is, and it demonstrates like how busted this team combo between Pyra and MYTHRA is.
Yeah.
But, as far as the moveset goes, I'll say this much. The vibes that I get from Pyra and MYTHRA is like Smash 4 Cloud. Where it's like, this character is fun to play as, but the reason they're fun to play as is because they're so, like, brain-dead easy. Like,
yes.
You have all these crazy moves with these really insane hitboxes with a crazy amount of hit stun, and, like, you can swap between lightweight and heavyweight on a whim. Like... And I'm not trying to completely, like, bash the moveset for the reason that, like, they are fun to play as, but, like, it is that unga bunga button mash brain dead kind of moveset.
Oh no, there's a reason that I said it feels like playing Sheik with a sword, and then being like, I want to kill move, and then you play Ganon.
Definitely.
I will say, the number one thing about why I'm okay with them being in, I just have written in my notes, screw you, Rex, you milquetoast anime protagonist.
Yes, if like, I will say this, if it was Rex, and then Pyra and MYTHRA were, like, incorporated into his moveset, I would have given him a 0 out of 5.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah. Like,
but the fact that it's not Rex, and that they make so many jokes about it not being him, that's funny to me.
I love dunking on Rex. I think Rex is such a boring, bland character.
I don't even think it's that he's bland. I think he's just kind of, like, dopey.
Dopey and annoying. And, like...
If I have any Xenoblade 2 fans, like, subscribe to me, like, they are gonna dislike this video into the ground.
Well, and I'll say
unsubscribe and run for the hills.
I haven't played Xenoblade 2. I looked up a synopsis when I heard that they were, like, the characters were announced, because I was like, okay, what is, like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Everyone says that this game has a good story, and then I looked it up, and I'm like, eh. I think, too, the biggest thing for me is, like, the mental disconnect from, like, Shulk. And the world that set up.
The first Xenoblade compared to this one.
And even, like, because I know Xenoblade X was a thing. And, like, that at least was, like, stylistically in line with what the first Xenoblade set up.
Oh, more than that. It was about piloting giant mechs. It was basically, like, the Gundam video game. I mean, I would say we never got, but we got a lot of Gundam video games. But even so, like...
And then just, like... Pyra and MYTHRA and, like, Xenoblade 2 just feels like every bad anime trope.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. That's the one, like, I need to say this much. Because I think it's pretty obvious. Like, I've been going on about Crom, like, even, like, long since we left Crom. Pyra and MYTHRA are my least favorite inclusion in Smash. And I really want to make this clear for people in the comments that are, or, like, people watching that are Xenoblade 2 fans. Because I know they're out there. I've got friends that really, really like Xenoblade, especially Xenoblade 2. And if you like it, more power to you.
Oh, yes. Love what you love and don't apologize for it.
Right. A lot of my problems with it are not just like, this is a bad game and everyone needs to feel bad about liking it. If you get something out of it, then I say that's a wonderful thing. Because games are about making us happy. And if this game makes you happy, very good. But you've got to have a least favorite, at least categorically. And this is mine. And specifically, like... And it's not just, like, Pyra and MYTHRA in Smash. It's Xenoblade 2 in general. I mentioned a lot of stuff about Xenoblade 1, how I couldn't get into the gameplay. And it's the same kind of gameplay with Xenoblade 2, except now it's, like you just mentioned a moment ago, like, every anime trope.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say, like, every bad anime trope. I would just say every anime trope. Like, all of them. It's, I don't know, like, you've got like a hentai artist doing the character designs, and there's so much like juvenile anime crap that is so like, I would think that like we've moved past this stuff, but like, oh, Rex wakes up and randomly, like, he and MYTHRA are in the same bed. How embarrassing. She gets all blushy and starts throwing things at him and is like, you pervert! And it's like, was it his fault? Because I didn't think it was, but, like, wacky anime hijinks. I'm like, this is...
Yeah.
This is so not what I like about video games.
Yeah.
And now to put some more positivity into all of this.
I know.
I'm really, really glad about the music that was included.
Yes.
Honestly, I don't even like the stage. But at least the music. Xenoblade 2 has a great soundtrack. I don't think it has as good a soundtrack as the first Xenoblade. And there's absolutely nothing about Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I haven't played that one either, but that looks like it'd be the one that I like if I were to play one of the games in the series. But like, for what it's worth, there are some very good songs in Xenoblade 2, and especially like a lot of the songs they did not pick are like some of the best ones. Like the final boss theme is insanely good. They did what's the song, Counterattack? They did a remix of it, and it like is not as good as the original. So like, that's kind of sad. It's like, oh, but the original is so pretty. Why did you nerf it? And the very best thing that I can say about PYRA specifically is that video. Hey MYTHRA, want to see me do a flip?
Yes!
I'm kind of busy. Flips. Ta-da! Okay, that's pretty cool.
Kazuya wave dashing in the background.
He's doing that little like crouch dash.
So funny. I love that video.
It's almost like I relate with MYTHRA at the end of that clip. Like, just when I think about these characters, it's like I don't like them. I'm like kind of busy, and then I see something, I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool.
Pretty cool. The other thing that I really enjoyed was when they got announced. I can't remember who started. There was an artist, I think on Twitter, or on Tumblr, one of the two, that started this thing of just KAZOOIE versus MYTHRA, and just them hating each other, like
yes,
petty like high school girl fighting.
Yeah, because they are both of them are brats.
They're the snarky like gossip girls that just trash talk each other, and then everyone on like the internet started just drawing these interactions between the two, and it was the funniest thing to watch. Like, just watch this wave of content blow up, and I was eating it up. Mainly because I was rooting for KAZOIE, but also like it was fun. It was so much fun.
Well, it's just like the dynamic is great because you get MYTHRA, who like I mean, I'm an outsider to a lot of the story. Like, I've only seen bits of Xenoblade 2 and then was like, nope. But from what I see of MYTHRA, she's like very driven and like needs to be the best. Yeah. And is very like, it's not like, it doesn't come from a place of being self-centered, but it's like really like, how would I say? It's almost more like a determined sort of try-hard complex. And I don't mean that as an insult, because there is something interesting about MYTHRA's character, but like the confidence going too far.
Yes.
So you get that personality clashing with KAZOIE's like intensely pessimistic, hates everything, like
super just negative, has to be like put down everyone.
Like the don't talk to me till I've had my coffee character.
Yes. Yes.
And you get those two like up against each other. It's so good.
It was so like I said, it was one of the most beautiful things, and once again made me not hate their inclusion in Smash Bros. Like, made me
definitely.
be like, yeah, these characters deserve to be here, if for nothing else other than how well the fandom is going to have these personalities play off each other.
This is also one of those ones, I kind of feel like people would see this the same way with BYLETH, but, like, I feel like I would have taken it a lot easier with these characters if they were in the base game. And not
Yeah.
third to last on the DLC.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, you know, like, there's a character for everybody. And, like, I've gotten everything I could ever want out of Smash Bros. In fact, I think this was the DLC pack where they had the Bomberman costume.
Yeah.
Or was that
I think
Steve?
you're right. It was one of them.
It was... No, I think it was with Steve. But, like, at that point, I'm like, okay, I have Bomberman now. I truly, truly can't think of anyone else that I need in Smash. So, like, I can let Xenoblade fans have this one. I never actually said this. So with MYTHRA specifically, get ready for this crazy contrast to PYRA. I gave her a 1.5. Like, still don't like her, and it's kind of funny. As characters, again, I don't know too much about the characters because I haven't, like, seen the entire game start to finish, but, like, I get the gist of them. I like Pyra's personality better. Just, you know, kindness over being a show-off and trying to be cool, like MYTHRA does.
Yeah.
But as far as playing them in Smash, I do like the faster, lighter weight character. I think MYTHRA's side B is really cool.
MYTHRA's side B is so
how you
much
just do
fun.
the... it's fun to use.
Yeah, like I said, I was ready to dislike them, and then they kind of just grew on me by being fun to play as, and, like, just the whole, like, scenario of, like, KAZOOIE and MYTHRA.
Yep. So, all in all, I would have liked somebody from X.
I mean, yeah.
But I don't know how they could do that, because, like, what do? Do you use the mech as the character and then shrink it down to fighter size? Or do you use the person and not have them in the mech and then, like, their final smash is the mech? It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how they could have done it, but I would have loved to have seen it anyways.
Hey, man, I'm just happy it wasn't Rex.
Yeah.
like if
At
nothing
least
else, we can take that victory.
I love the meme of the I couldn't tell you because I got invited to join Smash, and then just, like, doing that with a bunch of different characters. Like, there's like Sora looking for Goofy, and he's like, "Gosh, I couldn't tell you, Sora. I got invited to Smash." And then he switches to Donald.
That's so funny.
There's a lot of fun to be had. I will say with that trailer, that's probably what people were feeling during the BYLETH trailer.
Yeah.
Like you see this and you're just like, is this just more... Like, is this the sequel to Xenoblade or, like, a DLC expansion? Or and then it's like, oh, it's Smash, and then it, like, keeps going.
I think the difference between the BYLETH trailer and this one, we got this one in a direct.
Right.
And so, like, we were like, there is that kind of confusing bait and switch where, like, is this Smash Bros?
Is this because they didn't start it with the little cross thing like they normally do, which was smart.
Yeah,
and the
so
fact that I believe it was like the
actual director of...
I think it's the, like, at the end of the first, like, DLC pack they did, it ends with, like, PYRA going missing. And, like, Rex, like, wondering where she is. And so it perfectly sets into, like, oh, this is, like, the follow-up to the story. And it was funny because I saw it and I'm like, this is Smash Bros.
Yeah, I had a sinking feeling. Whereas with the BYLETH trailer, like, it was the Smash Bros. Direct.
Yeah, dedicated for...
And, like, it just right out the bat, we're like, oh, okay, it's BYLETH.
It's Fire Emblem Three Houses,
and whereas at least,
and to be fair, it was not like an original creative thing. It was, they took a scene that happens in Three Houses and changed the dialogue for it to be about Smash Bros. So, like, it wasn't even like a new scene that would, like, leave you wondering.
Yeah. All right, we're almost at the end of the list.
We're almost. I'm really sorry. Apologies to all Xenoblade 2 fans.
Yeah, if you like it, love what you love.
Yep.
Don't apologize for it.
Shout out to Zerion G. I'm friends with him on Twitter. He's a good artist and a cool guy, and he retweets Xenoblade 2 stuff often that I choose not to look at, but but he's cool. Oh, we cool, man. I'm sorry for dunking on these characters you like. That was probably his favorite characters that got added to Smash. Now that I think about it.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though, is that, like, once again, everyone has their favorite.
Everyone
character.
has a favorite,
and we'd been spoiled up to this point.
I would also like to say I think people have spicier hot takes than we do about the cast of Smash Bros. I think like your average Joe on the street would be handing out a lot more 1 out of 5s and
of course,
and thinking about just how the characters are in Smash and not the games they come from and being really unfair. So anyway, we talked about that too much. You want to talk about Kazuya? You want to go throw some people off a cliff?
Throw them off. Throw all the haters off the cliff.
That is so freaking funny. Like that trailer. Just Kazuya throwing people off cliffs. I was like, okay, this is in reference to something from Tekken. Like, it's probably like a famous scene or something where somebody gets thrown off a cliff. And then looking into it, it's like, no, it's part of the actual lore. Like, Kazuya and Heihachi are just constantly throwing each other off cliffs, and it's like a competition at this point.
Yeah.
It's so freaking funny.
Tekken lore is one of those... I'm gonna say it's really dumb.
Yeah.
But, like, it almost dips itself into so dumb it's amazing territory.
Before we get into the so dumb it's amazing, what did you give Kazuya?
I gave Kazuya a 2.
That is completely understandable. I'm gonna modify my answer in real time.
Ooh.
Anyway, but for me, my current answer, I won't tell you what it was before. You'll just have to be wondering. I give Kazuya a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Nice. Yeah, I gave Kazuya a 2, like, just because, like, I'm not, like, crazy about Tekken.
Yeah, definitely.
But, and definitely, like, Sakurai himself explained why, like, it was really hard to translate him into Smash Bros. Because Tekken is a, like, more close quarters type of game, and so, like,
you have
when they first
moves.
when they first made Kazuya, he sucked. Yep. So they made him broken.
they gave him the what is it, like, electric wind god fist or whatever it's called. That
there's also the 10-piece, and it's the easiest combo to do.
But it's so easy to break out of.
I mean, yes, but like,
but yeah,
I don't know, like I have
the 10-piece McNuggets combo.
Kazuya might have been one of the most disappointing fighters to me.
Yeah.
In that, like, I felt nothing towards him. Like, at least Pyra and MYTHRA got a reaction out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Kazuya just kind of felt like a little underwhelming, but also like he's like, once again, this is the point where I was like, nothing is gonna surprise me. So like, I'm happy for people who like Tekken.
Bold words.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was just kind of indifferent towards him. I will say though, the music.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to say. So it was no Terry 50 songs McGee, but we got a lot of great music with this, and
we did.
In my opinion, this is my favorite of the DLC stages.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love the fact that it's like the closed-in box, but you like hit people hard enough to bust them through the walls or the ceiling. I love that setup. And like visually, it's a dojo, and then you smash the walls, and there's like the moonlight over the cliffs and everything. It's beautiful.
And you got Heihachi just sitting there,
Yeah, just chilling there, critiquing you, judging you.
wanting to throw you off the cliff himself.
Yep. But he can't.
Yeah, like Tekken's weird.
It really is. So I think part of why I'm like kind of liking Kazuya more than you, again, like I said, just in general, I love the retro fighting game characters.
Yeah.
Like they always just bring something new and interesting to the table. In the case of Tekken, my exposure to it is through Pokken.
Yeah.
And
Pokken's a phenomenal
I
game.
really love that game, and
That's actually fair. I love it too.
The Tekken man himself, Mr. Harada. I learned about him like through interviews about Pokken. And there was tons of interesting stuff. He was saying like his favorite Pokemon is Pikachu. And like he had a lot of cool explanations as to why. And then afterwards, seeing how he did that interview with Sakurai.
I still need to watch those.
Oh, I cannot recommend it enough, because he asks all these great questions that like your average reporter on the street is not going to think to ask Sakurai about.
No, because they're both game developers, and so like they know.
Well, and more than game developers, like they're pals. So like there's a part where he's like, "Can you see ghosts?" And Sakurai's just like, "What? No." Why would you think that? He's like, you seem like the kind of person that'd be able to see ghosts. And then there's the, like, it's funny, everyone attributes the never ask me for anything again thing to Sakurai. But Mr. Harada showed, like, these two back-to-back pictures. There's one of Sakurai talking about Smash, and he's like, "We're very sorry about the delays. Please understand our team is working as hard as we can to make this the best game we can." And then next to it, there's a picture of Mr. Harada, and he's wearing a t-shirt in English that says, "Don't ask me for shiz." And he's just like... he's like, "This is the difference in how we develop our games."
That's so good!
And it represents that so well. I guess kind of going back to Kazuya as a character, I don't have much to say about him. I just think he's kind of fun and interesting. Like, I'm not really crazy about demons.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. As a character, I think Kazuya is harmless, and he adds something kind of fun. And just in general, like, the throwing people off cliffs thing, I think is really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the Kirby. He flies back.
I will say, once again, he is one of the only other characters that does not speak English.
Oh, that's
but
right.
like that's also kind of a Tekken thing.
But he gets his own unique announcer. Isn't that cool?
That is pretty cool, actually.
I like that, because the whole thing about Tekken is like there's no victory music after you win a fight. Like, everything goes quiet, and then the announcer guy is just like, "Kazuya Mishima wins." And so the fact that they just did that for his victory theme is like, oh, that's different. That's
you know what I can say that's positive about Kazuya, actually?
What?
When he was coming out, and you know, I'm like, all right, like looking up information, who is this character from this game I haven't played?
Mm-hmm.
I found dialogue from Project X Zone.
Oh,
and I forgot that he was in that.
Yeah, he was.
It was him and his son, I think it's Jin.
Yeah, Jin.
Are like the playable characters, but also Heihachi is like because you basically have a third character that like
is a support, right?
Yeah, as a support, and you have a lot of fun characters there. And like the conversation between the three of them is so funny because like Heihachi is like, the trio of like father, son, grandson, like all together, and then Kazuya's like, I'm going to kill you, old man. And then Jin is just like, I hate both of you. like it's so just like funny how much they all hate each other.
So there is one thing I want to say. I guess technically this is spoilers for Tekken 7. Tekken 7 is kind of an old game, but I guess if for whatever reason you haven't heard about the final boss of this, just skip ahead.
Yep.
But one thing that was interesting to me, I saw the final boss fight of Tekken 7, and it's interesting because you play as Heihachi, and you fight Kazuya in his demon form. Like, he is the final boss of Tekken 7. And I was just really impressed with, like, graphically and the fact that they managed to, like, weave cutscenes and plot into fighting gameplay. It was really cool.
Really?
It had a very, like, what am I thinking of? Like Star Wars Episode 3, like, volcano setting for, like, their fight and everything. And it's just really emotional, because you can tell, like, these are two characters that have had this grudge for years. Just, like, finally laying it all out on the table. Kazuya's in this crazy demon form, so he's just going all out. It's insane.
Yeah. I
It's
think
brutal.
part of it too for me is like every Tekken game has the same ending for the like 5 games in a row.
Oh no, that one did not end with somebody being thrown off a cliff.
I know.
But I get
And
what
so
you mean.
like yeah. And so like I think some of the dramatic magic of it is lost a little bit.
Okay, spoilers over if anyone's listening. There is also that clip of, like, the arcade. I think it's the first
Yes.
Tekken.
Kazuya smiling.
He throws him off the cliff, and he has the most, like, drawn in MS Paint smile.
Yes.
It is so bad. It is so funny. And the thing that bothers me the most, they didn't make that, like, a victory screen thing for Kazuya. Though the one thing we do have that is close, there's an idle animation where for Kazuya, where he kind of, like, folds his arms and he, like, has this big smile. And I think they were going for a reference for that, but it wasn't just, like, 1-to-1.
Yeah.
It would have been so funny if they would have used
I would
that,
have
like
loved
the camera angle and just him smiling at the camera. Like,
It's so dumb, but it's so funny.
oh man,
Well, that's all I have to say about Kazuya.
yeah, great music, great stage. Not a character I'm too crazy about, but you know, fighting game history and another Namco character. Like,
Yeah.
for the longest time, we just had Pac-Man, so it's like, okay, we got some more people.
Rip Tales of and Klonoa, but
Yeah,
like
I would have loved Klonoa.
even as a Mii costume, I would have loved Klonoa.
I would have. The main thing was we got ripped with Mii costumes on the Final Fighter because they only did 3.
Yeah.
Like, they should have given us like 20 Mii costumes at the end for like
No.
everybody we didn't get.
The two characters that were like left on my like, all right, this will never happen, but were Chrono. Like I wanted a Chrono Trigger, specifically even just a Mii costume. I just wanted Chrono Trigger music in Smash.
Yeah.
But also like Amaterasu, because Okami's really good.
Oh,
we're gonna play Okami for this podcast
Okami is
at some
definitely
point.
one that's like, it's not even like somewhere down the line. It's like, it's planned. Like, it'll happen.
Yeah, we're gonna play Okami. However, this last one was one that like, you know, I've been like, oh, that would be neat, but like, I don't like want this or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't until it happened that I realized just how badly I wanted this character.
I will say, like, trying to be as open-minded as I could, I technically set myself up for disappointment because on the day of the direct, like minutes before it released, I was listening to Ninja Gaiden music. Trying to will Ryu Hayabusa into the universe.
Yeah.
So, like, I set myself up for disappointment with that. I completely understand. There is also the fake out in the trailer where everyone thinks it's going to be Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I also set myself up for disappointment a second time being like, is that Dark Souls?
Yep.
But
There's also the point in the trailer where everyone was like, Master Hand?
yeah, that too, because it's like Smash Bros. We got to play as Master Hand though. In
Yeah?
World of Light. I should
That's
have
super cool.
I should have made a second save file before that so I could do that
Yup.
anytime I wanted, because now I have to play World of Light again to do that.
Yep.
Anyways,
But let's talk about Sora.
we got the young Disney boy himself.
The
The legal hell.
I know.
Like, this was one of the ones, like, nobody thought it was gonna happen, and then people doubled down on it not happening because of Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Like, we were just like, there's no way in a million years they get Sora. It's a logical final pick, but there's no way. And then they did.
They did it. Well, and then, like, because that's the thing, too, was, like, when Bayonetta got into Smash 4, it didn't feel like a popular enough character.
It didn't feel like the winner.
It felt like a weird note to end on.
It did. It really did.
But, like, Sora just felt right.
Yeah.
Like,
so, I mean, I think I can already tell what you're going to give Sora, but what did you give Sora?
Sora is a 5.
Okay. I will honestly say, I know I've had some very spicy takes on the Kingdom Hearts series.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's even weird to have hot takes on Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people do.
No, it's
in spite of all of those things that I feel about lots of the Kingdom Hearts games, I had to give Sora a 5 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the appropriate final fighter for Smash.
Yeah. I watched a video. It was a compilation of like over like 100 people's reactions to Sora.
Mm-hmm.
And what's amazing is it started with the haters. Where like another sword character. Oh, this is stupid. This is dumb.
Yep.
Why was this the last character?
Yep.
And like set 2, like the orchestral version of Simple and Clean.
Oh yeah.
And then it all of a sudden like goes into like people just tearing up and just losing it over like this was who I voted for.
Before we get too sentimental, I did realize I had something else to say about the PYRA MYTHRA reveal.
Oh no!
Here you go. If you stuck around even after I bashed your favorite characters, like here's a bone I'll throw you guys. Something good about them. A reaction video that I saw to the PYRA MYTHRA reveal that I really, really enjoyed was the voice actress of PYRA and MYTHRA. She posted a reaction video to that because she'd known about it forever, and because of NDA couldn't say anything. But then, like, got to show off to, like, her Twitch stream, like, guys, it's finally happening! And that was something that I thought was cool, because that's not just, like, oh, it's a character you like, it's the character you voice getting revealed in Smash. Like, something like that is kind of meaningful. I forgot to say that, and so I just...
No, but like, and that's the thing too. Was for so many people that was Sora.
Exactly, he was
like
the #1 most requested Smash Bros. Character
at that point. But yeah,
well, at that point, like obviously, probably in history, it was Sonic.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, no question. But like,
actually, I don't even know because Sonic wasn't as popular in Japan as he was in the U.S. for a lot of those like early years. And started, like, rising in popularity as time went on. Whereas, like, Sora, he's just always been big everywhere.
Yeah.
So I wonder about that. But, yeah, a lot of tears were shed over this one.
Yeah, and, like, that trailer is so good.
Uh-huh.
Like, it is the greatest send-off to what I consider to be one of the best video games of all time.
Mm-hmm. I would say, like, the best crossover of all time, definitely. And it's just the fact that, like, it's none of this, like, edgy guitars or, like, blaring brass and, like, characters fighting and explosions. It's literally just, like, Sora bringing cheer to everybody. Just flying around, enjoying himself, and, like, the mellow, like, orchestral music and everything, just... It tugs at your heartstrings, and it's It's so beautiful how different it is from every other Smash reveal.
Yeah. Well, and especially because, like, there's this thing about Smash Bros, like, that I loved about the DLC is that it would always, regardless of what you felt about the character, the game would get revitalized.
Yeah, people
Because
would start playing the game again.
Everyone would start playing it again. And, like, you know, even if you're like, oh, okay, this character I'm not excited about, but it's a reason to jump on and play with other people again and play my favorite character. Then, like, you know, and it breathed life back into the game. And this trailer was a visual representation of that, where, like, you know, all of the fighters there turning back into the statues, and like into the trophies, and, you know, the flame of, like, the Smash logo, like, going out, and there's, like, that one ember, and then it leads to Sora showing up, and Sora brings that life back into the game.
I love the sort of fan theory about how, like, with the lyrics of the game's main theme, Lifelight, like, Sora is the lifelight that brings life to the fighters. Because that is just so, like, that's what Sora does. He is the embodiment of, like, the crossover character. He travels to random worlds, meets the most unusual, unlike him, wackiest characters, and he becomes friends with them and enriches their life for the better. And so, like, the fact that he gets the chance to go to the, you know, the final destination of crossovers, and just gets to sprinkle a little bit of that joy, that warmth, like, it's such a sweet thing.
It really is. And, like, I'm so glad they kept, like, his costumes. Oh my goodness. So many great choices for his costumes.
I'm like, boy, you better not take the Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit. That is what I use.
See,
I love that one.
The thing is I use the Kingdom Hearts 2 one.
Right.
But also, I love the Kingdom Hearts 3. And then the Timeless River was such a
one was great.
That was such a great choice. And then, like, the different forms, and, like, it's so good.
It really is cool. I will say, for me, like, we're mostly just talking about the reveal because it was that insane. As far as to actually talk about Sora as a character and everything, like I said, I have some gripes with the direction that the Kingdom Hearts series has gone. And it's just one of those series, like, I feel very burnt out. Like, they could announce Kingdom Hearts 4 tomorrow, and I feel like I actually wouldn't even be excited or want to know anything about it. And maybe I'd just, like, watch a playthrough on YouTube or something. But, like, I'm not as invested in Kingdom Hearts as I used to be. But, man, do I love Kingdom Hearts 2. That is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Kingdom Hearts 2 is so good. And it's not even like, well, if you can tolerate the wacky off-the-rails story. It's like, no! The wacky off-the-rails story is amazing. And the fact that, like, the final boss is, like, a dude throwing buildings at you, and then you fly up to there, and there's, like, a dragon, and, like, like, lasers and sword fights, and it's just the most, like, off-the-rails anime thing, and it's a work of art.
I love, my wife has this thing that she says that with each game that gets released in the franchise, gravity has less of a hold on Sora.
Yeah. And I love that that's represented in Smash.
He's such a floaty, like, character.
He's not just floaty, but he has all these moves that, like, stalls him in the air and, like, messes with his momentum. It's so appropriate.
Well, and it's funny too, because, like, I play a very, like, aerial heavy Smash Bros. I use aerials a lot.
Yeah.
And so just Sora was, like, perfect.
It was it's almost like Mewtwo with a sword.
Yeah, that really is. His air mobility is incredible. But also, like I said, I don't think I realized how bad I wanted Sora in Smash until it happened, because
Yep.
so many very meaningful relationships in my life happened because of the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Yeah.
Like, one of my best friends I met, a chance meeting, and like we were acquaintances, and then I went over to his house and we played Kingdom Hearts 1 together. And that was the moment where like it solidified our friendship and we became like best friends. And then like my wife, when we were, our first meeting and we started talking about video games and we started talking about Kingdom Hearts. And then like literally after our very first date, she's like, "Hey, you want to come over to my place and play what was it, 2.8?"
Oh yeah.
And like I did that when we were dating. I played Kingdom Hearts 3 over at her house and like we experienced it together. Literally we watched that this Smash trailer together, and that inspired her on her YouTube channel to play through Kingdom Hearts 1, and now she's going through all the Kingdom Hearts games.
Mm-hmm. That's youtube.com/Ava.
Yes, please go watch it. But like, and that's the thing too, because she started doing that, it gave me like a newfound appreciation for the first Kingdom Hearts and how
definitely
really good it is. Like, I forgot how good it is.
Yeah. I kind of feel like in terms of pure gameplay and just controlling Sora, it feels kind of outdated because we have newer, crazier stuff in the later Kingdom Hearts games. But the design of all the environments, the enemies that you fight, and like in general, just the storyline, it's almost kind of like better than most of the other stuff in the series. Like it keeps it very simple. It's just fun. It's just like good-natured fun. Like you go through Disney worlds and you have a wacky time and you get to watch like weird anime characters like try and fit into this world, and it's just like pure childlike enjoyment.
It really is. And like you can sit there and like try and overanalyze like the story and its plot holes, and
of course,
like there's a lot to like overanalyze about it. But honestly, like Kingdom Hearts is just like when you just take a step back and just enjoy it for what it is. You just like, you know what? I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the ride. It is such a fun ride.
Kingdom Hearts is light.
Light, but wide.
And it's so freaking quotable.
It's so quotable.
If nothing else, like just play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get to 2, you'll be really confused because you didn't play Chain of Memories.
Honestly,
maybe like watch a plot synopsis of Chain of Memories.
Yeah, watch
so
a plot synopsis
of Chain
of Memories at least.
But then like play like Kingdom Hearts 2 afterwards. Like those two games are incredible.
They're phenomenal.
Do you want to know the only bad thing about Sora being in Smash?
Yeah.
And it's not even the lack of Disney characters. Like that also does bum me out just a tiny bit, but even more than that, not only did we not get 50 songs,
yeah,
which every DLC character should come with 50 songs, but we only got 9.
And they're all Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah. Like,
I really wanted the 13th struggle.
13th struggle, that's a good one. Or like the, what is it, Darkness of the Unknown from Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Like, or anything, honestly.
There's a lot of good Kingdom Hearts songs. We didn't even get Simple and Clean.
No, like that one, there's even more licensing hell than just Disney involved with that. Because did you know Simple and Clean was not even originally a Kingdom Hearts song? It was just made for an album and then repurposed into Kingdom Hearts. So like, yeah, lots of licensing issues. But
I will say, like, it's so fascinating that Sora managed to break through all of like yes, we still didn't get the perfect Sora, I would say, like with all of the Disney iconography.
Yep.
Donald and Goofy getting replaced with the boat and the Palpu fruit.
Yes,
So,
my good friends, Palpu Fruit and Raft.
like that's really sad that Disney is the way that it is. But honestly, the fact that we even have Sora,
The fact that we have him in any capacity is still, you know, really heartwarming.
it really is. And it shows that maybe the world isn't as horrible as people think it is.
The world of gaming, at least.
Yeah, capitalist greed, like, you know,
right.
we can still at least make something good happen.
Yeah. And even with, like, the limited number of songs that we got, like, we definitely got a lot of the classics from Kingdom Hearts 1, which is good, like, the very iconic songs. And especially, like, okay, I really hate that it's tied to Melody of Memory, that you have to have your save file to get the song. But that swing version of Dearly Beloved is beautiful.
Oh man, so like that was the thing too, because I have Melody of Memory.
Yep.
I
borrowed it so I could get the song.
yeah, and like, you know, I watched my wife play it because I'm like, I'm not super big into rhythm games, but like, you know, I'll sit down and watch you play through this, and just booting up the game because like, Dearly Beloved is like an iconic Kingdom Hearts song. Like every game starts up with that song, and it's this beautiful, slow, melancholy piano piece. But then Melody of Memory starts up, and it is like this jazzy, just full of life version, and it's so good.
And the craziest thing is, so technically, that is the last song added to the Smash Bros. Soundtrack.
Yep.
So when I listen to that, I think about the end of Smash Bros. Or at least the end of Smash Ultimate. And just like, it's not like a bombastic battle piece. It's not extremely somber and emotional. It's just like pleasant. And so like I can look back on Smash Bros. History and just be like, man, this was a good time.
Yeah. Just looking back at like all these characters, like I mentioned, there were some that I wanted. I wanted Chrono Trigger to get acknowledged, mostly because I want a Chrono Trigger remake in that new, like, triangle strategy, like whatever art style. And like, you know, I would have liked Amaterasu and like a couple of other like big like game characters that I felt deserved to be in the game. But like honestly, the fact that we got as much as we did is a testament to just like how much love went into this game.
Absolutely. This like that's the thing. I don't know if necessarily I could say Smash Ultimate is my favorite game. But when people do ask me what my favorite video game is, because it's so hard to choose from all these good games, I say Smash Ultimate because it has everything I love. Like, even if maybe there is a game that mechanically I enjoy playing more, or a game with a storyline that I love more, Smash Ultimate just incorporates everything. And it's like, Sora, as the last character we have, is just the embodiment of that. Of just having a good time and combining wacky things that shouldn't mix and then seeing how good they are when they do mix. I think we're about ready to wrap up.
Yeah.
The last thing that I have on the docket, since we've talked about all the fighters now, is the Faves section of Tradin Faves.
Hey, took a bit to get here, but we're here.
Yep. Thanks for sticking with us through this. We're gonna do our for both of us, our top 5 favorite characters. We've already talked at length about every character, so like we're probably not gonna say much about 5 through 2. But if you have any brief words you want to give about your number 1 favorite, then you know, within pace because it's getting late, but
Yeah, it's very late. We're doing this. This has been a long ordeal making this.
yeah. Lots
Um,
of recording sessions all extending to very long. But do you want to do just like your 5, my 5, your 4,
Yeah.
my 4, just back and forth
yeah,
like
I'm
that?
I'm
Down
down
to
for
one.
that.
All right. So tell me, who are your top 5 favorites, starting with
Top
number 5?
Okay. So this is a thing. My number 4 and my number 5 are interchangeable.
Okay. They're 5
they're
and 4
kinda-
are equal.
Yeah, they're kind of tied. They flip between the two because, like, I kind of like playing as one more, but I like the character of one
Yeah,
more.
that's fair. With mine, I'll just go right out and say like 3, 2, and 1 for me are interchangeable.
Oh, very fair. But so like these are kind of the ones, and it's sad because like I had a very different as games came out. Like my top 5 changed a bunch.
Oh yeah.
Because new characters would get introduced and other characters would get bumped down the list. But on here I have number 5 as Banjo and Kazooie.
Yay.
Just I love them. I'm so glad they made it back to Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. For my number 5, I put Meta Knight.
Meta Knight.
He is not just my favorite Kirby character, but one of my most favorite video game characters. I love him. He's so fast. He's so hey-ya! And he's so cool.
Yep.
Move over, Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about them. We just said we were gonna go through them real quick.
Yep.
Okay, number 4.
A little thing. Number 4 for me, and like I said, it's interchangeable with 5. Is Terry.
Okay, yeah.
Terry Bogard. Like he caught me so off guard with just how much I love playing as him, his character, his personality, and like I love him.
Mm-hmm. Number 4 for me is yeah, you remember when I said best Nintendo villain of all time? It's gotta be Ridley. The thing for me, like I said, in general, I love playing heavyweights, but I always felt like I had to give up something. Like with everyone that I played, like with Ganondorf, it was like, oh, he's too slow and he doesn't combo, or like, you know, like Bowser's moveset or whatever. But with Ridley, he's just the heavyweight character that has all the things I love in a moveset. So, gotta give it to him. Number 3.
Number 3 for me is Sora.
Nice.
Like I said, I didn't realize how badly I needed him in this game until he was here. But like, I love this boy so much. He means so much to me. And like, even though he's number 3 on the list, he is a strong contender against the other two. Like,
Yeah.
it's close. And the only reason is like I have kind of more with these other characters and like their play style I like just more. But like Sora is like very high up. Like there's a considerable gap between him and the other two.
Yeah. All right, my number 3, and I can only rate them as number 3 on a technicality, because, like I said, these top 3 are pretty interchangeable. For this one, I give it to Samus. I love Samus so much. I love the way she plays in Smash Bros. I love the Metroid games, what they mean. And I don't even have time to go into all this. Like, I don't even know if I said everything about my feelings about Samus when we just talked about her at the start of this. But, like, Samus is a character that I deeply relate to. And I didn't invest myself too heavily in the Metroid series at the beginning. And I certainly wish I had as a kid. But, like, as a character who's been through so many traumatic experiences, and just keeps on trucking. This is a character that I deeply relate to and that really inspires me in a lot of ways. So I really like Samus for that reason.
Right on.
All right.
Number 2.
Numero dos.
For me, it is the Inkling.
Yeah.
As I said, like I said a lot of what I wanted to in this episode, but like legitimately, I love the Inkling's playstyle. I love the whole style and aesthetic of like the characters, the world of Splatoon, like is so much fun. And Inkling, like, you know, was who I voted for in my fighter ballot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, the start of Ultimate gave me what I'd asked for. And so I was so just grateful. I was like, yes, I have the ink. Like right off the bat, this was one of like the biggest things that I wanted, and it was handed to me.
Mm-hmm. That is pretty cool that for both of us, the number 2 we put is technically who we voted for in the fighter ballot. Technically, I say, because my number 2 is Mii Brawler. And obviously it's not just because I like the playstyle of Mii Brawler or their competitive viability or whatever. It's like, no doubt it's because of the Bomberman costume. I don't know. I feel like it'd be so easy to be jaded that all I got was an assist trophy. And then a second time when I had a chance, it was just a Mii costume. But like, to me, that's good enough. Bomberman is there. I can play as him in this game. And like the Bomberman series is just one of those things that is so near and dear to my heart. And it's so interesting that it's not as popular as all these other big Nintendo names, but it's just the fact that Bomberman's here in any capacity just like really moves me.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I don't freaking care that it's a Mii Brawler. It's Bomberman's here and I like that, darn it.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be happy about it.
Yep. But definitely in the next Smash Bros, you should try doing Bomberman as a full-fledged fighter. You won't regret it.
Please. Please.
It's not even like the main reason I want Bomberman in Smash is because I want him to be like seen and relevant and getting more games.
Yes, please.
And I want somebody to buy out Konami. Because they suck and they don't deserve all these great IPs that they have. But I digress. Yep. So, viewers listening who know our tastes very well, I think it's pretty easy to tell who our number ones are going to be if you were following all of these videos and if you know anything about our tastes in general. But, just so we can make it official, your number 1 fighter.
My number 1 fighter is Sonic. No question. Sonic as a character like means a lot to me. Mm-hmm. And like I keep saying, like eventually we are going to talk about a Sonic game on this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's fascinating because like Sonic is so simple in like, you know, it's a cartoon hedgehog fights a fat man that builds robots. And like, you know, that's it. But then there's like so much nuance and so much like depth you can go into his, like there's so much to pick apart with his character. And I think like the biggest thing for me, one is that like my very first video game experience ever, at least to my memory, I could be remembering it wrong. I'm going to choose to remember it wrong then because was Sonic 2. And it was the most fascinating experience ever.
Yeah.
And, you know, Sonic's not a perfect character. You know, I will fully acknowledge that Sonic games have their flaws. But I'm also a flawed individual. And I've always been able to look past those flaws and find things that I enjoy about like the games and the character.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but like growing up, Sonic has always been somewhat of a role model to me. Just in like his attitude and approach towards a lot of things, his like, you know, his carefree attitude of like, you know, I'm gonna choose to do the right thing, regardless of what other people say.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they hate me for it or whatever, like I don't care. I'm gonna do what I feel is right. But like, you know, and like that's a very like dangerous mindset for somebody who, you know, maybe not has the best morals, but Sonic has this amazing sense of justice. And I've always admired that about his character. And, you know, like there's so many just facets to his personality that just speak to me. And so like, you know, he's stuck with me like all these years later. You know, I still think about this character and how much he means to me, and the fact that he, you know, he was one of the first big name characters to like be invited into this game. It means a lot. And you know, I always said, like, even back in Brawl, like the moment he was announced, I said, I'm going to play Sonic forever. I don't care if he's good. I don't care if he's bad. Like, I will play him because I love this character.
Mm-hmm.
And so I played him in Brawl when he was garbage. I played him in later games where he was better. I continue to play him even when the rest of the competitive scene plays him like a bunch of heathens.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I will stand by this character forever. He is my favorite character, and I'm so glad he's in this game.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Theme of Sonic. All right, sorry,
well
I kind of
said.
went off a little bit, but I love. This
I'm gonna
character.
have to try and not match that in the interest of time, but I guess just piggybacking off of what you said, I will give an honorable mention to Sonic. If we're not talking Smash Bros. Purely as a character, I would put Sonic above Ridley or Meta Knight.
But playstyle is a thing you gotta take into consideration.
But
too.
yeah, since this is a Smash Bros. Focused thing, this is my Smash Bros. Top 5. But absolutely, man, Sonic's just great. And now for me, I can't quite say the same thing for mine. My number 1 is Pikachu, and it's not because he's a role model, but more so what he represents. What he represents in gaming, what he represents in my life, and especially because, like we've said, it's a Smash Bros. Discussion. He's been there since the first game. He's been my go-to Smash Bros. Fighter. And they always make all these crazy changes to him in every game. It's weird how many like small details just get changed from game to game. But at the end of the day, like, it's still Pikachu. He's always there. He represents the pre-evolved form of my most favorite video game character of all time. So he's not even in his prime yet, and he's still kicking your butt, and I love that. But as a kid who completely got swept up in 90s advertising and merchandising, like, of course I fell in love with Pikachu. It was one of the main, like, things I had to bond over with our sister, was Pikachu just as a character and how much we loved him. And in general, like, he's shaped so much of my perspective about character design. More than anything, I love characters who can be cool and cute at the same time. Characters that can just be well-rounded and have a little bit of everything in them. And it's, I don't know, like, there's so much about like modern Pokemon that's like kind of turned me off from wanting to participate in the series, and there's so much about like just the advertising side of things that's like, oh, Pokemon is the biggest franchise in the world, but it's like when I really get down to it, just Pikachu alone as a character, I love what he does for video games. He represents accessibility. He represents fun for everybody. He represents adorable animals that remind you of the great relationship you have with a pet. He reminds you of, you know, awesome fights and, like, unexpected underdogs coming out on top. Aiming for Rhydon's horn, whatever. Like, and I can't get too much into it because it involves a lot of spoilers, and it may be something we talk about on Tradin Faves, but it's such an average game, but during a really tough time in my life, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon really moved me with its final boss fight and like the climax of the story. And I was playing that game as a Pikachu. And I guess without getting too much into spoilers and also in the interest of time, the main thing that experience taught me was don't give up. And Pikachu has become a symbol of that for me, of never giving up, even when you have absolutely nothing. Even if all you're doing is struggling a little bit more before you die, that's still not a reason to give up. Even in the worst of circumstances, you can keep going. And so I guess just in general, that's what I want to say about Pikachu, is that stupid yellow rat that makes billions of dollars, the most successful marketing icon in the world, in spite of all the corporate nature of Pokemon, still managed to touch my heart in a very personal way. And not just Pikachu, but all of Pokemon in general, but especially Pikachu. And that's what I gotta have. That's what I have to say about that.
I'm not gonna try and match that. Proceeds to like surpass it.
You get me in this mode where I'm like, in the interest of time, we can't talk, but we're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna do it anyway. Oh man.
Okay. But that was our Super Smash Bros. Retrospective. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you weren't too mad about my takes about BYLETH and or PYRA MYTHRA. Or Chrom.
Yeah.
Respect to Chrom players as well. We love all of these characters and all of this experience.
Yeah.
And no matter who you play as, like, just play Smash Bros. And enjoy it. It's such a good game.
It's a phenomenal game. And like, the thing too about this is we only talked about these characters and we've talked for like hours.
Literally, like multiple hours each game in the series, like just talking about the characters. There's stages, there's items, there's story modes, there's like online, there's collecting things, trophies and trinkets and whatever. Like, there's so much to these games, and they're beautiful. And I think all that is best represented by Masahiro Sakurai. Like, that man is my hero in game design. I would
same.
The only one even more so than him is Mr. Iwata, who also was involved in the creation of Smash Bros. Those two are really just like, they've set an unprecedented standard for like, at the very least, what a game developer should be, but then also like beyond that scope. Like, those two were devs that just were always going above and beyond in all that they did.
Rock on.
All right. Shall we do the teaser and then get the heck out of here?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. This one. So, I'm actually going to drop a bit of a surprise here. So, let it be known to the viewers wherever you are watching this. I did not tell David this before recording.
Oh no, I'm scared.
Like, we had talked about what we wanted to do next, but our next podcast topic will actually be a game of the audience's choosing.
What?
Yeah, so in the comments below, vote on what you want us to play. And then your game recommendations, your perfect game recommendations, will promptly be discarded. In this podcast, you don't get to choose what we play. Our next game will be Deltarune. How is that for a teaser?
Gosh, dang! I was actually buying it like until like you started into it, and I picked up. I was just like,
game, right? That was
oh my gosh! Yes.
Oh, I love that. I was like, how do I tease Deltarune? And I was like, well, heck, how does the game open? Like,
oh man, I can't wait.
Okay,
to talk about Deltarune
next time. Now, you said specifically we're going to talk about Chapter 2.
Yeah, well, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, but...
Oh, that's going to be long.
Yeah, I'm probably more Chapter 2, but, like...
A bit more of a focus on Chapter 2, because that's the more recent one, but...
Yeah,
we will talk about
Deltarune.
And then we'll be able to do a chapter-by-chapter thing once...
Yeah.
Once later chapters are released, but... Yeah. Join us next time for Deltarune Chapter 2. Holy moly. We did it.
We did it.
We talked about Smash Bros.
Yeah. We talked a lot about Smash. We talked about a lot of games.
We sure did. And it's cool because we don't have to cover any of those in the
that was kind of why this took so long, is I was like, well, we're never gonna play this, but I want to talk about it.
But, you know, it was fun to talk about Smash Bros. Overall, like, I'm glad they brought back David and Joseph for the podcast, but Tradin Faves was a lot better when you could wave dash. Like, the hit stun is all messed up now, and L canceling was removed. Like, Tradin Faves sucks now.
Let's go back to the original Metroid episode. That was the best episode.
I liked it better when it was just Metroid. With all just the purest, cringiest alpha rad energy you can give it.
Oh, see, I'm channeling Vine Sauce.
Oh, that's even better.
Sands under... That's Joel.
Grand Sands.
Grand Sands.
This is going in the bloopers.
Yes. Good.